Hello, and welcome to another evening of Dungeons & Dragons, with me, Paddy, as your Dungeon Master as usual. We are missing a few members tonight. Nikki was meant to be here to play Fish, but I'm assuming something has come up as she has not turned up and she has not seen any of my messages, so we'll just be continuing without her. If she drops in halfway through, then great, but otherwise, oh well. Annette, who plays Tahlia, is also currently missing, but that has been dealt with, as will be covered briefly in a moment. But joining me tonight, as always, we have Ben as both Valdision and Ert.
Evening, guys.
We have Steph as Vierna.
Hello.
We have Reese as Blossom. And we have
Hello.
Aaron as Xandal.
Yo, yo, yo.
Now, to cover briefly what happened last session, the party finished off their test that was being administered to them by the ferry of the depths, passing and gaining that said soulbound item as a group. The ferry then transported them back to Maham, where they had a meeting with Barras, who passed on some key information, and basically let the party know that he was very thankful and that they got to keep anything they got as payment. Then he wouldn't ask too many questions about what they may have found. Pardon me, sorry about that. The party then spent some time just having a bit of downtime. They found another soulbound item and then decided to throw it in their vault underneath the jigging jester. Noticed a bunch of small children following certain members of the group around, but didn't really seem to think too much of that.
Well,
Vienna's room got broken into by what they're assuming is a panty thief. I don't know whether that's true or not yet. Well, I do, but they don't. And finally, the most important... also, Xandal had contact from his sister, and has begun passing letters with her. The party also had another letter from Rowan. And finally, the group found their way to Inalas' workshop. At first, they could not gain entrance, so Tahlia, taking a slime sucker, made her way within. Finding the room empty, she turned to begin unlocking the door, only to be ambushed and knocked unconscious. The door was then opened by Tahlia, allowing both Valdision and Vierna, who were with her, into the room. They made their way inside, and after a few moments, what appeared turned out to be a clone of Tahlia slammed the door shut, locking it all, and then turned into an ooze and slid their way under the door, leaving Valdision and Vierna locked in Inala's workshop. Vierna soon discovered the hidden compartment where Inala and Tahlia's currently possibly lifeless body lay, quickly rousing Inala and asking a few questions, finding out that the creature was the result of an experiment Inala had done with Tahlia's blood, a monstrous aspect potion, and some ooze that she had gained from an elder Oblex. And that is where we pick up today. So, Valdision and Vierna, you are currently in this workshop, in this hidden compartment. Tahlia's body is laid flat on the floorboards. Inala is sort of sat there nursing her head, having just told you this. And you are trapped in this room.
Inala, is there any other way out of this room aside from the door with multiple bars across it?
No. Probably should look into adding that. I mean, there's the Kobold chute, but I might be able to fit down that, but I don't think any of you can. And I maybe barred that shut when I made the creature.
Okay.
And she does point, and you see across the room there is like a grill in the floor. which you get the feeling probably does lead all the way through the building to the sewers. But you can see some hastily sort of nailed on bits of wood and soldered on bars, and she's done the best she can to make this as escape proof as possible.
The question is, do we take, like, if we can get out of here, do we leave Tahlia here to recover, or do we try and take her with us because she's going to slow us down? We need to stop this fake Tahlia from going and wreaking havoc and potentially...
it'd be
easier.
You're not here.
Secure.
You're not here.
Not?
Yeah, no, Blossom, you didn't go with them, I don't think.
I think I did.
You were on the other
Actually,
side of the door, weren't
Yeah,
you?
Yeah,
Blossom's
no.
still on the other side of the door.
Oh, right.
I think you
Yeah.
said you was...
Hmm.
No, you went with Ert. You went with Ert last time. You left with them, but you said you were going to go with Ert and join up with them.
I feel like Blossom was there, actually.
Yeah, I thought he was,
Hang
but
on,
I thought
let
he
me
was...
write my
Yeah.
memory.
Yeah, I
Yes.
thought it was stood
Yeah,
outside
you're right.
the door.
You're right. Blossom was there. But no, the clone would not have closed the door until all of you were inside. So you are all within the room.
Cool.
Right, okay, so Blossom's
To-
with us. Okay.
To retcon that.
So what were you saying, Blossom?
If the room's pretty secure, she should be safe here.
Yeah.
By the way, you're all looking down at Tahlia. She is not moving at
Yep.
all. There
Vierna's
is-
actually trying to kind of shake her up, but she kind of knows Talia's situation, so she's like,
Yeah, but the
I don't
problem
know if
here
she's
is...
alive or not.
Yeah, exactly. You cannot tell.
Yeah, so obviously she knows what Talia's situation of death is, but
Well, I
whether
mean,
she can tell whether she's alive or not is.
I mean, you can try to check if you want.
I
If you
can
want to
try.
make me a medicine roll, whoever wants to.
Well, since I'm the one trying to get around.
How's Inala feeling?
Uh,
Because
In-
unless we're taking her with us to deal with the Oblex or the hybrid thing, and she could, and she wants to study Tahlia, so
yeah, Inala
I don't
looks
know how
like she's
questionable it is if she can't give consent, but
Inala looks like she's just come round from being unconscious for quite some time. But she's like coming round fairly quickly. You think she'll probably be back on her feet in a couple of minutes from the look of her. Vienna, with that roll, you think Talia's just unconscious? You're not certain,
I'm
but
gonna be optimistic that she is.
yeah, you
unconscious.
sort of open up eyelids and you sort of like see like the tiniest bit of iris movements, and you think that suggests that there is like some function still going on here.
Jolly good. Okay, guys, I think she's alive.
Okay, that's good. I think I've worked out a way out of here.
Okay.
I'm
What's
gonna
the
use
plan?
I'm gonna use my daggers.
Oh.
My portal dagger. I'm gonna cut a hole here, and I'm going to misty step downstairs, and cut another hole in the ground, and then we can leave.
Okay, how are you looking out?
Last time you said that I could see the street from the window.
You can, yes.
Yes.
So I was just double checking. You do have to have visual of where you're wanting to misty step. I was just checking where you wanted to misty step. If you're going to say, I want to misty step back into the hallway, it's like, you can't see that.
No, that was one of the things we queried right at the end, just before we finished.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, there are some like little high like arrow slit windows that you can, that obviously in this place were meant for just like the tiniest bit of light to get in for Inala to be able to see. They are rather grimy and horrible, but you can sort of wipe them off and
Yeah.
look through.
And Val just turns to Inalia and just goes, "It does mean that there will be a giant portal here for a number of minutes that you may have to like wave at people from the street with."
I mean, people have seen weirder coming from my workshop, if I'm honest.
I just wanted to make sure you were okay with that.
Yes, absolutely fine.
And Val will basically make a...
I do have a request. If you could capture the creature alive, that would be wonderful. I've not finished studying it yet.
Are you sure?
I mean, I may have had a slight lapse in judgment when I turned my back on it the last time, but I'm sure I'll learn from my mistake.
If we bring this thing back alive, you make sure it's contained.
And you owe us
I
big.
want your word on it.
If you can't confirm that you can keep it contained, we're going to eviscerate it.
Well, that seems quite a waste of research.
Well, you best get building something then.
I see. I suppose a post-mortem examination would probably reveal plenty as well.
Anyway, we don't have a lot of time. We need to stop this causing mischief. At
Ready
which
when
point,
you are, Val.
I'm gonna. He flings his arm out, basically as far away from his body, and draws the biggest circle he possibly can against the wall. And then Misty steps down and does the same against a wall or a ground surface, so that people can get through.
Okay. So you with the portal dagger, it's not you don't have to draw on a solid surface.
Okay. Well, in the air
it's not like
then.
drawing. You just have to slash with the intent to open a portal.
Yeah.
So So you open one portal, Misty step, and appear onto the street, quickly opening another portal, and the rest of you see at first this like just glowing, like white cut appears in the air, and then immediately changes to being the view of the street with Valdision stood right in front of you. You can feel the cool air from the street coming into this admittedly rather stuffy laboratory, but it's there and it's ready to be walked through.
I walk through it.
Okay.
I'll follow.
And does that mean we kind of see where Blob Tahlia is?
Make me a perception check.
Can I help her with that? Like, because I would also be keeping an eye out for the blob.
Yeah.
I'll just give you advantage. Like, I won't.
We are
re-roll.
now calling her Blob Tahlia. Hope Tahlia isn't offended.
Tahlia
bear with-
Blobthorn.
Oh dear.
It's either that or Dark Blob. One of the two.
That could
Perception,
work.
yep.
Yep, perception.
Ooh.
Unless you want me to do the perception check.
Advantage, did you say, or
Yeah, with advantage because Val is
'cause
assisting.
it's actually for once giving me the option.
20, okay. Vierna and Val, you're looking around and you're looking at the crowds going through. You spot 3 figures that could be Tahlia,
Hey! Oh, jeez. Right.
all heading in different directions. One heading towards Grimhaven, one heading in the rough direction of the Jigging Jester, and another heading off towards sort of Wilmer's.
Do you want me to try and... Because I'm fairly strong. Do you want me to try and take Tahlia and take her back to the Jigging Jester and try and warn Gunther there? Because even if this blob Tahlia hasn't gone back to the Jigging Jester, at least Gunther can then look after Tahlia.
Okay, I think that's the priority, is getting that one that's heading towards Gunther.
Just so you know, the portal that you've cut only lasts a minute, so you don't have long to make that
Oh,
decision.
we would have gone through the portal, I'd imagine.
Yeah, we're all stood there
Alright, so
now.
have you
we're
taken
out.
Inala and Tahlia, or just Tahlia?
Just Tahlia, I think.
Just
Okay,
Tahlia.
and Tahlia just sort of stumbles through after you and is just sort of... She heads back into the Alchemist Guild, shouting, obviously trying to let people know vaguely what's happened.
Yeah. I
Right.
think that's the main priority, and if I go there, then the other two that just split off, you guys can chase after them and see if they are actually Blob Tahlia or just mistaken. And if they are mistaken, you can meet us back at the Jigging Jester.
Okay, Blossom, which one do you want to go for?
I'll go for the one headed to Wilmer's.
Okay, I will go for the last one then.
Okay. So, who wants to go first?
Oh, I suppose I can.
I mean, it's going to take me the longest to get to the Jigging Jester because I'm carrying Tahlia. So
Yeah, and you're not You're not looking at that clone, are you? You're just going straight to the jester, so you're pretty much going to go past it.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay. All right. So we'll start with Blossom then. So Blossom, you start. Are you walking after this figure or running?
I'll try and catch up to it a bit, but not tackle it to the ground or anything. Just
Okay.
get...
As you start moving and you get close, it suddenly ducks into an alleyway. You watch it; it just sort of like moves quickly and just sort of ducks into this alleyway.
Right. Does it look like it's noticed me? And is it still headed in the same
From
direction
its
as...
movements, you would guess it's realised it's being followed.
Sure. Would I have any idea where this alley comes out?
From a rough bit of knowledge of the area that you do have, you would know that this is it's just one of those like alleys that leads into this like residential area. So obviously the Gateway District has lots of residential in it, but sort of around the main squares and that sort of thing, you have the shop fronts. So this alleyway just leads into one of these residential areas and eventually would come back out on the main thoroughfare to Grimhaven. Or
Is it
loop around
just
and come back to the
one
square.
way? Point is, is it possible for me to run around quick enough to get to before it comes
Roll
out?
me a survival check just to see how well you know the alleyways around here. Okay. You knowing the alleyways the way you do, you don't think there's any way you could get to the other end of this alley before it, other than you do know that there is a lot of roof access in this area. You think if you wanted to, with your own agility, that you look up and you can see there are balconies on these houses, and like you could get up onto the roofs and run along the rooftops and then get safely down the other end if you wanted to.
Yeah. Or if I can stay on top just enough to get a better view of it from the top.
Yeah. Like I say, after it leaves like these alleyways, once they go into the residential district, it's not like the slums of Grimhaven where it's houses on top of each other, but it's more think sort of medieval London. There's a lot of houses close together. The gaps are very easy to jump for people who take such rooftop routes.
Sure.
Assassin's
So,
Creed
yeah.
style parkour.
Effectively, yeah. So you quickly scramble up a couple of ladders and some balconies, doing a few little jumps here and there, but you soon find yourself on the roof overlooking this alleyway.
Do I see the figure come out?
Give me a perception check with advantage because you're in such a unique position.
12. Yeah, that's
12.
a shame.
Yep. You do not see the figure leave.
I'll just head to Wilmer's then. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll leave from you for the moment. Vierna, you're trailing after this figure heading towards Grimhaven.
Yes, I will try and stay a little behind it.
Okay. So. Alright. It just keeps walking. Doesn't seem to have noticed you.
Okay.
It just walking along, just moving through the crowd. You can see people greeting this figure and just going, "Oh, Tahlia, member of Armatae. Oh, so great to see you." And this figure is just sort of smiling, waving, acting as if they're Tahlia.
There wasn't 3 figures that left, was there? Out of the alchemist.
There
It was
was
just
only
one.
there was the single figure that left out the room, but
It
as
was
you got
made
outside,
of
there were.
ooze, though, right? Wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Would it have realised that I was one of the?
Oh,
figures that
actually,
trapped
there is
in
something
there?
else, Vienna. Make
Yeah.
me a history check. As here, who may have heard of an Oblex, as it is a Underdark. Oh no!
Oh, for goodness
You,
sake!
the name rings a bell. You think it may have been touched upon in some lesson at some point, but
I wasn't obviously interested.
you just know it's something from the Underdark. That's all you know.
I'll follow kind of behind it, but just acting very casual as if I'm just a member of the crowd, really.
Okay. So it eventually reaches the gates into Grimhaven. The guards salute, pass them on through.
I'll follow.
Okay, they salute you as well, giving you a greeting. Okay. You watch as, having heard the guards greet you, the figure stiffens and then starts moving purposefully towards one of the alleyways again.
Actually gonna call out and try and bluff my way and just shout, Tahlia, we were supposed to have met.
The figure turns and looks at you, and it looks exactly like Tahlia. But because you know it's not and you're looking, you can see the tiniest little details that give it away. Little things like the odd scar in the wrong place on the face, or one eye being slightly the wrong color. Just little things. There's also the fact that the chest is rising and falling as if it's breathing. You think that this creature is able to mimic Talia nearly perfectly, but it just gets things wrong.
Right.
Because, Vienna, how nice to see you.
Hi. We were supposed to have met an hour ago. You were late.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I've just lost track of time. I was just enjoying a nice walk.
How about you come with me? We can walk together.
Oh, well, I'm sure that'd be lovely. Lead on.
So with that, Vierna kind of walks back the way we came, but sort of heading nearly back to the alchemist. But I'll try and do it subtly.
Okay. I've just got to check some stats. 1 second. Okay, what's your passive perception?
What is my passive perception? 14.
14. As you turn and you start heading back towards the gates to the Gateway District, there's no sound of footsteps following you.
Damn it! I was gonna keep my. I should have specified that I was keeping my eye on her. Okay.
Well, to clarify, there's no sound of footsteps at all.
Oh, she's still there next to me then.
Well, do you want to take a look?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I said. I was kind of
Yeah.
keeping
turn
my
and
eye
look.
on her at the time. Yeah.
Gone.
Damn it!
Just gone. Like there's no footprints in the mud leading away. There's your footprints and her footprints that lead to this spot, and then that's it. She's
Gone.
just gone.
Right. Can I see any trace at all where it, like any goo or anything like that?
Roll a perception check.
Looking for goo in Grimhaven is probably not the best thing to be
Yeah.
looking for.
Just normal, yeah.
Yep, just a regular perception check. Okay, pretty good. As you sort of look around, you do catch a sound, like a little gurgle, and you glance to the side and you see a drain at the edge of the road, and you just see the faintest red bit of ooze just slip into the drain.
Okay, we could have done this easily. You're making it difficult. Is it enough for me to hold monster?
No, that you
Ah.
barely saw that. This was like I say, this was the last couple of centimeters of ooze. You just barely caught it as it was going. It rolled a 24 on a stealth check. You're lucky you got that.
Okay. out of anger, she's just gonna like do an Eldritch Blast down the drain.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an attack roll for me. Roll an Eldritch Blast roll. Okay. You from the drain, you do hear something go, and then nothing else.
Go what? Sorry, your mic cut out.
Yeah, you.
You hear like the sound of it hitting something, but that's it.
I'm gonna stay around that drain and just listen.
Okay. Whilst you do that, I'm going to move to Val.
Yeah.
Val. So how are you taking Tahlia to the jigging jester?
So I've basically got Tahlia over one of my shoulders. I've got an arm. One of my arm is basically supporting her, and then in the other arm, because I pulled it out of her jacket last time, I actually still have the mirror. And whilst I'm navigating my way to the jigging jester, every now and again I'm looking down at the mirror to see if Gunther is just perchance taking the mirror out. And then I'm kind of putting it down to the side, concentrating on where I'm going, and doing that as a movement. But I'm not concentrating on where the ghost or the ooze Tahlia went. I'm basically concentrating on my fastest route to the jigging jester.
Okay. So checking at the mirror as you move, again, it looks like Gunther's left the mirror in a drawer or something at the moment, as it is dark on the mirror. There is no sign of it, no light or anything, so you get the feeling he's probably either put it face down somewhere or it's in a drawer, probably somewhere safe so that he doesn't lose it. But as you keep moving, you don't see this other Tahlia figure. It just seems to have vanished as you keep moving further and further. You eventually reach the jigging jester.
Okay.
Without any incident, from what you can tell.
Well, I'm going to go through the front door of the jigging jester.
Okay. Rook looks up as you come in and goes, "Welcome back, Tahlia." Oh, Tahlia? And you can see Rook looks really confused.
Rook, this is the real Tahlia. Any other Tahlias is an enemy. Where's Gunther?
Left with Tahlia?
Do you know where they were going?
9.
Okay. Can you look after real Tahlia? And can you also...
He comes and literally takes her and is just like cradling her.
I don't know if there's going to be anything else or anyone else that's going to try and attack Tahlia. So just be careful, because there might be other things coming. This is the real Tahlia. If you see any other Tahlia, that's an enemy.
Right. Okay. I good. And you see him go, and he takes Tahlia behind the bar and sort of lays her down and like gets like some blankets and stuff and makes her comfortable, and then reaches under the bar and he pulls out. To him, it's a club. To you, it looks like most of a tree trunk.
Can I also go upstairs to Tahlia / Gunther's room? And I want to grab the chest piece of Talia's dad.
Okay.
I'm going to sling that over my shoulder.
Okay. Fair enough. do bear in mind, if you get that destroyed, it is never going to forgive you.
Yeah, I know. Hang on, was there any other pieces of that, or was it just the chest piece?
It was the full set. It was the full set of armor.
Is there a smaller piece that I could pick up that would be easier to carry?
None that would be as easily identifiable.
Okay. In fact, you know what I'm going to do is slightly blasphemous, I guess, but I'm going to actually just stick it on.
Okay, so it's going to take you a little while, as you're going to have to A, remove your own armor.
Yeah.
And B, put this armor on. That is.
Would it not just go over my leather armor?
No.
Okay.
No, unfortunately not.
Okay, in that case, ignore that. I'll still just sling it over my shoulder and just carry it.
Okay. All right. So, as you head back down the stairs, comes in the door and goes, Oh, hello. There was nothing new at Z's.
All right, how's things going over there?
Okay. He seems to be doing a good trade, but he's not had any time or ingredients to do anything during this whole kerfuffle.
Ah, okay. Quick question. I don't suppose you've seen that gift that you got me. I seem to have mislaid it. You know, the big gift you got me.
Hang on, you're gonna have to clarify here. Big gift.
I'm being deliberately vague.
Okay.
Has
Trying to
only
think.
got me one big gift.
Oh.
The main gifts from the Feather Festival. You gave it
to the armor cleaning stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be in your room? You used it to clean your armor the other day.
That's good. And basically, I'm going to put my arm around Ert, spin her round so she's walking in the same direction as me, and
What? Hey, what? Oh.
Explain exactly what's going on and that Tahlia's been hurt.
You see like getting not angry but like steely as you describe what's happened, and she goes, "Well, I just saw what I assumed was Tahlia and Gunter going for a walk.
Where did you see them?
I'd just come out of Z's. They were heading down an alleyway near there."
Can you navigate that way? Also, to save me carrying it, can we put this in your book for now? And kind of, he lifts the armor chest piece up.
Okay. Yep. She goes, yeah. She gets the book out, puts it in, closes it up, and starts guiding you towards the alleyway she saw. Okay, we're going to pass back to Blossom.
Okie doke.
Blossom, you've been sat on the roof for about 5 minutes.
I was heading back to, or heading
Yeah,
to.
you were heading to
Wilma's.
Wilma's. You get to Wilma's. You see the shop is open. Wilma is present. There are a couple of customers inside.
Are there any children following?
Make me a perception check.
Nope.
Not that you can see.
That's a shame. I will go and talk to Wilma and ask if she's seen Tahlia.
Oh, hello, Tahlia. No, not seen her today. Why? Do you need her for something? I thought you all lived together.
It's difficult to explain. If you see her, can you try and keep her here, but send someone to get us?
Okay, I can do that. If she comes here, I'll send you all a message and let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem.
I'll head back to the jester.
Okay, as you head to the jester, you meet up with Valdision and Ert as they are making their way towards this alley.
As I leave the shop, can I look around to see if the Tahlia's around? I imagine not, but
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
wouldn't notice anyway.
You do see the tiniest flash of red on a balcony, sort of to your left. Like it's almost like it's just in your peripheral. But as you look, there's nothing there.
No, I'll move on then.
I've just thought, now that Blossom's back with us, I'm guessing we've now moved outside. So there's been a couple of minutes or whatever. Val's just going to basically slap himself in the forehead and go, Ert, can you send Gunther a message?
Yeah.
Can you, within the amount of words, explain that Tahlia is at the jigging jester and Tahlia's been hurt? And to be careful of anybody looking like Tahlia.
Okay. Gunther. Tahlia was hurt. Imposter Tahlia is bad. Real Tahlia at Jester. Please be careful. Don't go with Tahlia.
Perfect.
That was. She waits a second and then goes. You see the colour visibly drain from her face. Gunter says he inside Tahlia?
Okay.
He say
Too much
Tahlia
information.
Tahlia gave him a hug and now he inside her and she in sewers.
Okay.
She sort of just looks at you and goes, I'm not sure what to make of that.
I mean, it's an ooze creature, so it's figured it was gonna something like that might happen. I guess we need to wait here for a few minutes more anyway to see if Vierna meets back up with us,
Yep.
or if
At
she's
this
still
point-
shooting fireballs down a drain.
Yeah. At this point, I will move back across to Vienna. Vienna, you've been stood staring at this drain for a couple of minutes now.
I'll only wait a couple of minutes. She gets bored easily when she's on a chase. So if she hasn't heard or noticed anything, she will try and make her way back to Jester.
All right. You eventually get there and see Valdision, and Blossom stood outside near this alleyway entrance.
Vierna, the slime Tahlia is somewhere in the sewers.
Yeah,
And
I know. It went
Gu-
down the bloody drain.
Not that one. The one that has Gunther.
Oh, it's got Gunter.
I mean, Gunther is inside it.
Okay, that can mean more than one thing. Let's hope it's actually the goo one and not the other one that I'm thinking. Right, quickest way to the sewers. Find a manhole.
Yeah.
Vierna's looking around for anything that, like a well or something that leads to the sewers.
Well, Valdision, you know where a manhole is into the sewers here.
Yep. We've been down there
from
before.
Previous times.
So we'll head to that one, and
Vicky is going to be joining us in a moment.
perfect.
Catch her up.
Just to check. Are you guys going to try and contact Xandal or try and get Fish before you do
Xandal.
anything? Or is it just going to be you guys? I'm happy either way, but
I don't think Aaron would be.
I feel like with the time that we've got, we would probably just be rushing to the sewers and knowing us
again,
not.
bear in mind, can just send messages. If you wanted
but
to.
she can, but she's actually she would have had a long rest, wouldn't she?
Yeah, you've all had a long rest since.
Okay, so she's only burnt one of those spell slots, not 3. That's the only reason I wasn't doing any more sending spells. Okay. In that case, yeah, she'll send a message to both Fish and Xandal to explain where we are currently, where we're headed, and kind of that there's a situation with Tahlia, and she's goo.
Okay. So it goes, Xandal. Red alert. Tahlia, not Tahlia. Clone of Tahlia. I should have been counting here. Xandal, red alert. Tahlia, not Tahlia. Tahlia, clone of Tahlia. Made of ooze. Need help. We just outside jigging jester. Please come quick.
Xandal's response would be, why is it you're always in trouble? I'll be there shortly.
Okay. And I'll say she sends the same one to Fish. Just waiting for Fish to join us. Ugh. But yes. So are you guys waiting there?
I think we're kind of in a rush to head down, aren't we?
Yeah, and
Hello, Fish. Welcome. Right. So you guys, Fish quickly comes and joins you as she was only in the jigging jester. So she wasn't exactly far away.
I wasn't sure where she was.
Yeah, no, Fish was only in a room at the Jester. Xandal is going to take a little bit longer, though, to
Yeah.
get to you.
Just very quickly, out of curiosity. So, you know the magic containment unit inside Hagar? Would I have perhaps a prototype canister that would contain oozes?
I would say you probably have a number of canisters around. You've
Yeah.
probably not got one specifically designed for that, though.
But one with sort of like a high acidic sort of like
Yeah, you
resilience,
would, like
considering Hagar's
for
breath
yeah.
weapon.
So you would have a number of things, but whether they're completely airtight, etc., you wouldn't know
No.
100%. Like you would have ones that would be airtight if they were put into a system, but obviously these are just like meant to attach to other pipe stuff. You could probably try and bodge it whilst you're on the run, but
I
how
will do
well it
that.
will work, you don't know.
I've just
I
got this
will do
image of
that.
Xandal turning up with a cookie jar, a clear cookie jar with just wires strapped around the side of it.
It's like, come here, goop.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to try and bodge one as I'm running along.
All right. So,
Or
Val,
as Hagar's running along.
are you leading them to the manhole cover here that you know of in the Gateway District, or are you going to the sewer outlet in Grimhaven?
I'm going to the manhole cover, and he
Okay.
shudders even thinking about it, considering the situation, but he rummages in his bag and grabs the slime suckers.
Okay, because otherwise it was going to be acrobatics checks to wriggle your way down again.
No, he picks up a slime sucker.
Okay.
Would the slime suckers work on Hagar?
No, because
Okay.
Hagar does not have any way to process them, unfortunately.
That's a shame. But yeah,
Okay.
kind of. We hold off a few minutes to see if we can spot Xandal before we start moving.
I'm assuming Andal is riding Hagar.
Oh, yeah. Hagar's
Yep.
faster than Xandal.
Yep, so it's not very long until you can see the crowd parting and hear the ka-dunk, 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 ka-dunk of Hagar just pounding his way through.
Well, actually, was there a limit to how many times I could use the dagger?
No, there's no limit to how many times you can use the dagger.
So in theory, I could draw on the ground a large enough circle, slime sucker, go down, and then draw down there to get Hagar down?
Yeah, I mean, unlike you, Hagar doesn't have wings. Hagar's gonna have no problem getting through the manhole.
Oh, okay, I
The
thought it was
reason you had
bigger than a
problems before
manhole,
was
so...
because no, he's okay. He's still only a medium-sized creature. The problem you had was you had large extremities that you weren't used to before,
Okay,
trying to fit tight space.
That's fair. In that case, yeah. I assume once we all turn up, we're all going to go down?
Yep.
Do we
Okay.
want to have a
As
battle
you all-
order? Got an order?
Considering Vierna's kind of like on a hunt, so to say, she's going to be probably near the front.
Okay.
I'll go second then once I've taken the slime sucker and oozed down.
All right. Who wants to go third?
I'll go third.
Okay, so Xandal and Hagar. Yep. Who next?
I'll go next.
Yeah.
Okay, Fish. And then who's after Fish just before the rear?
Can go first.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Blossom's bringing up the rear. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you all make your way down into the dank, dark sewers and find yourselves down in those tunnels that a few of you remember from previous excursions. Actually, only two of you. Only Val and have ever been down here.
And we get some kind of weird deja vu where she felt like she died down here and it didn't actually happen.
Yeah, got retconned. But yeah, so you are now underneath the streets of the Gateway District in the sewers, sort of looking around. What now?
Is it easy? Because Vierna obviously saw that goop go down one of the drains.
Hmm?
Would Vierna actually kind of guess a direction where that was?
So that was under Grimhaven. It went down
Right,
a vein in
okay.
Grimhaven. You're currently in the Gateway District, so you would have to head southeast towards that drain. Southeast
Okay.
would be the rough direction you'd want to be heading.
Well, Ert's the last one to have actually seen
Gunter.
Gunter and Tahlia.
And that
Yeah,
was in a
she saw
completely
them.
different part of town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she saw them go into an alleyway near the jigging jester.
How quiet is it in the sewers? How echoey?
It's fairly echoey. It's not like massively echoey. It's not like dead quiet. There is like the trickling of the water in the channels. There's the sound of the crowds up above, but there is some echoes.
Is it possible to hear anything that would give an indication? With my enhanced
Go ahead.
hearing?
Go ahead and roll a perception check with advantage.
15.
15. You don't hear anything ooze-like, but you do hear footsteps.
Sure.
They're coming from. They are coming from the south. And they just sort of like.
Well, it's something to
Yeah,
go on, I guess.
We can head in that direction.
Okay. By the way, do you guys have any lights on, or are you just?
I think most of us can see quite well in the dark, can't we?
Zandal can't, so
There are
he's got
torches
his
down here.
hammer.
There are torches and stuff, but they're barely far apart.
I think
Yeah.
Val is just gonna light his wrist lamp or whatever it is,
The light stone, yep.
and
Yeah, Zandal's got his hammer lit up.
Yep.
Yeah.
and can light her mace as well, so that we've
Okay.
got enough light.
All right. As you guys proceed on, you eventually come to a corner from round which, Blossom, you can hear these footsteps stop, and you hear someone go, "Ah, who goes there?"
It's
Vierna.
me.
It's me.
Zandal, you recognize this voice. Last time you heard this voice, you were hashing out engineering
No.
designs with it.
Is that you, Nut?
Zandal? And you see the little green kobold come running round the corner, a sack over his shoulder that's jingling, and he goes, "Ah, hello,
What are you doing down here?
I live here."
Why? You're one of the best inventors in this city.
Because this is where my tribe live. So I live here.
Yeah, fair
It's
enough.
all lovely and everything. Sorry to interrupt. Don't suppose you've seen any red tiefling or strange goo?
The minute you say red tiefling, he almost drops the sack. The nasty thing.
Yes.
Oh, we've not been able to go around the sewers recently because of that. It's been dangerous. Nut's able to do it because he has his gadgets. He can distract them. He can fight them. But the rest of his tribe can't. It sucks the life out of them.
Interesting. Don't suppose you know where they're congregating, do you?
He points off southeast. Old nasty room. Demonic taint.
Thank you very much, Nut. You've been very helpful.
How
Right.
long's recently?
Saw a couple of the tiny ones passed about 20 minutes ago.
Wait, tiny ones?
Yes, Yes, there's one big main one, and then the others can change size. Some teeny tiny little things to normal size.
Vierna
There's-
suddenly has a flashback to the cheeses.
Vienna, at that point, roll me another history check. Advantage,
History.
because this is a bit more about an Oblex, and it might jog something. 14. That is enough. You vaguely remember warnings about Oblexes. Oblexes are ooze-like creatures that were made by mind flayers. They were oozes that were taken and genetically altered by mind flayers. They take memories, they feed on memories. And you were once told a story of a village that did not know it had an Oblex under it, and the Oblex steadily over time replaced each of the people, because the main Oblex body can create these tendrils that can span for miles, and at the end of them it can create an exact copy of anyone whose memories it's taken.
Okay, guys, we've got a problem.
Oh,
It's a big problem.
What's the problem?
So Vierna basically says that, in short, that this thing is capable of taking memories and could potentially take Gunther's memories and become another Gunther, and so on so forth.
And
Okay.
there's one big one controlling the whole lot.
Yes.
Nuts.
Uh,
As oh, I'll let you
Yeah, no, go ahead. No.
go. In terms of like all of your special gadgets and stuff,
Yes.
do you use them to navigate around here and to avoid these, like almost like an echolocation sort of? I don't use the word echolocation. Just go. Do you have anything to navigate and avoid obstacles and stuff down here, or how do you guys navigate down here? Is it just by knowledge?
Yeah. We live down here. We maintain the sewers. That's our job. It's why we're given our den.
Well, we're going after this big blob. We'll go in the direction that you've advised us to go, but if you or any of your other clan come across it before us, you know the direction we're going, can you just come and get us, and we'll change direction and try and deal with this?
Yeah. I'll tell the clan to keep an eye out for you and give you the correct directions. Yeah. Val,
Yeah. I was
roll
waiting
me
for
a
this.
history check.
Oh, okay. Not what I thought. History check, did you say?
Yes, history check. As something's nut said, should twig a memory. We're just going to see how much of a memory you get.
Not a lot.
Not a lot. But the words room with demonic taint starts niggling at the back of your mind.
It's not... do you remember that room that the ritual was going on?
Yeah,
Back-
the faceless.
With the faceless. Do you think that's what he means?
Maybe.
Would I vaguely remember the direction that was in, and would that marry up
You would remember
with...
that you went under Grimhaven to get to that room,
Yeah.
which is southeast.
Okay.
And
Well,
you do remember you never reported that room was there to anyone. You told them what happened in it, but you never actually showed anyone it.
Fuck's sake. Okay. Well, we're going in that direction anyway. But Val's going to keep that in his mind as they navigate the tunnels to try and mimic, if he does remember any of the tunnels, mimic the route that they went.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, and like I say, and first off, you have to actually, get to the correct tunnels that you remember.
Well, yeah, we're just heading in that direction, based on Nut's directions first.
Okay. Yep. So you guys start making your way. whoever is leading this, roll me a survival check. See if you can keep on course.
Who is leading it?
That was
Well,
you.
you were at the front, Vierna, so...
Yeah, I thought that was the case.
I will give you advantage because... very good thing I said
Thanks.
that. Because you are underground, this is more your sort of place.
Oh,
Okay.
thank goodness.
Start leading the group in the direction that you think is correct, and you occasionally a kobold will just like pop its head out of a pipe and just like correct your course ever so slightly. But just like every now and then, like, ha, no, go left there, and then another one will pop out like a couple of minutes later, going straight ahead. It's just like you could tell these kobolds have their own whole network of tunnels that intersect these sewers, and they're just like following you through them, just trying to give you the correct guidance and directions without putting themselves in harm's way.
I'm imagining if they were against us, I'm just picturing like that scene in Labyrinth, you know, when they keep turning the tiles around and when she draws an arrow on it.
We have sap bolts.
Yeah.
Blossom.
Yes.
Blossom, you were at the back, weren't you?
Yes.
Make me a perception check, please.
Sure. Is it sound or smell?
It would be sound, so you would get advantage on this.
Well, 14.
Not enough. So it is going to get advantage on this. Because it is taking you by surprise. Okay, I need you to roll me an athletics or acrobatics check, please. Your choice.
Would Hagar have noticed something? Because Hagar doesn't get
Hagar's
surprised.
too close to the middle.
Okay.
That's more like it.
Don't like the DM being silent for this long. It means something
No.
bad's about to happen. Or he's been disconnected.
Possibly.
I think disconnected because he usually says something by now.
Eddie? What's killing us?
Oh no.
And you're all dead.
You're
Yeah,
You're
you're
back. You're back.
You couldn't hear me. Blossom, you feel something small but solid sort of jump onto your back and latch itself around your chest, and then it just starts dissolving into this ooze-like substance that wraps around you. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh no.
Right.
The memory absorbing has started.
Nice.
That is a save, so you are only going to take half as much damage.
That's 70 damage.
So you...
And that is halved.
So you take 11 necrotic damage as this... You just feel like it's sapping the life out of you.
Yeah, I will yelp a bit. Is it physical or?
It's latched onto you. It's still there, so you can attempt. It's basically grappled you, and then once it's grappled you, this is happening. So you
Sure.
can now attempt to try and break out of the grapple.
Yeah. Is that another acrobatics?
Yes.
check?
Yeah, acrobatics or athletics, your choice.
Yeah, acrobatics. That's mine. Not great.
It's enough to beat its athletics check though. So you
Oh,
manage to
good.
just rip it off of your body, and you just see it reform into this tiny little Tahlia, like not like almost like Inalas sized. You're just holding it in your hand, and it just grins at you.
Would I have heard the yelp from Blossom first, or would
Yeah,
have
you
I?
would all now
No.
be aware of this and turn to see Blossom holding this
No,
tiny
what
little...
I'm saying is, or would Mortimer have raised awareness because it's necrotic?
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
Mortimer would not, because unfortunately these do not count as undead.
Okay.
So Blossom, you used your action there to get out. The only person who is close enough to you to take any form of action straight away would be Urt.
Can you
Is
guys
good.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yep.
Can't
I
now.
think. Is basically gonna see this thing and knowing what's happened to Tahlia, just take the mace and just go to like hit it as if it's like one of those things in Butlins where you try and whack a mole.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead and roll an attack roll then.
22.
Yep, you don't even need to roll damage. You watch as hits it and it just turns into this puddle of goo that's now held, like oozing out of your hand, Blossom.
Yeah, I'll drop it, I guess.
Yep. It just drops onto the ground and just starts flowing into the sewer water, just lifeless. It starts off red and it's just now slowly turning into this horrible grey colour.
Okay. Well, that's
Well,
good
at least
news.
the little ones don't take much hitting.
It's the big one that concerns me.
We carry on.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
And
Okay.
en route, as we're walking, Val's just gonna essentially tell them the story of this this demonic room and the ordeals of the tunnels, what we had to face, just so they've
Yep.
got a little bit of awareness of what was going down here at the time.
Okay.
Not that I can
After-
quite remember everything, considering it was like 350 hours of gameplay ago.
Yep. But I remember. loose ends that I can exploit. But
There's a
after
giggity
about
there.
no, after about 30 minutes of walking, Val, you recognise the tunnel you're now in. You and Urt do. This is the tunnel where you got attacked by reanimated crocodile corpses from within the sewer water in the centre of the floor.
And reiterate and point that out to the guys as we're walking. I guess. Oh god, there's a map.
There is a map.
Let me just bring the map up for the stream.
Seems like everyone's disconnecting.
Oh no.
I'm still here.
Everyone's internet's just failing.
Might be a Discord thing.
Maybe.
Do I remember the mechanic of this area, or was it just that we were attacked?
You remember seeing the strange glowy things going into the water and then giant animated crocodiles, dead crocodiles coming out. That was what you remember.
Okie doke. Guys, keep an eye out for strange glowy things. Is everybody
Righto.
disconnected? Oh, okay. We have still got people
People are
here.
still here.
Yep, still here.
I think we've lost Vierna though.
Yep. Okay. So, as you guys go to start moving down here, I am going to need everyone to roll initiative. This is going to be done in initiative.
Okay. Glad I chose the creepy catacombs music.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forget I can. I got an 11. If you can add that to the.
Yeah, I can add that.
Yeah, I forgot to roll my select my token. I got a 16.
Okay, hang on. So Blossom is an 11. Xandal was a 16. Just need to move your token down to get what I need. Just wait for the other two to come back. Hopefully. If not, I can always roll for them.
Do we want to take a quick 5 minutes just while they get themselves refreshed and reset?
Yeah, we can go to a be right back screen if we need to.
Yeah, we'll just go to. We're having a couple of technical problems for a couple of people, guys, so we're just going to take 5 minutes to try and sort that out. We'll be right back with you with whatever's going to happen to the players in this sewer tunnel.
Okay.
Hello guys, we're back. The technical issues seem to have been solved, and obviously we have quickly availed ourselves of any facilities that we needed to use or get drinks, etc. So hopefully, internet issues now solved. Everyone refreshed, ready to face the hallway of doom. So, at the top of the initiative order for the first time in a long time, we have Vienna.
Ooh, I'm so excited to be first. Right, but the thing is, we can't actually see anything, can we?
You cannot currently, no.
So I lost my internet before I even realised we were looking into a hallway, so you might have to catch me up.
Okay.
The last thing I heard was the blob going into the drain from Blossom.
So basically, you guys, Val started recognizing the area they were in and remembered this hallway as being a ambush site from the last time, and so said to be careful because it is likely another ambush again.
Okay, with that in mind. Oh, excuse me.
Don't worry, I'll wake you up in a second.
Thanks. Very slowly, she's just going to keep making steps forward, but every, 5 feet, she's kind of looking around.
Yeah. If you want, you can make me a perception check.
Yep. Perception. This is where I roll rubbish now. Because I've used the good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't, you're looking around, you can't see anything here. You look at the water in the middle and it's just murky and horrible. There could be something under there, but you can't see it if there is.
Okay, was that an action? That I've just-
No, that was a free action.
Okay, so I can just keep doing that every 5?
I'm not going to let you make perception checks every 5 feet. No,
Damn it. It was worth a go.
you get one free perception check a round.
Okay, can I move sort of there and as if I did my perception there then, and I'll
Yeah.
stop there.
Okay. All right. Fish, it's your turn.
Right. So we've got a perception check, haven't we, already?
Yep.
Oh. And I'm going to move forward.
Yep.
Can I go 5 feet?
Yeah.
I'm going
So
to be
that's just
cautious.
1 square in forward.
Yeah. Or I might do. Yeah, I might do a perception check as well.
Yep. So you move 5 feet forward and go ahead and roll me a perception check. Just wait for it to come through. From what you can see, it looks like an
That's
empty
terrible.
hallway. It's you can't really tell anything.
I'll just grab Michelle.
Okay. You all watch as Fish just turns into a torrent of water and it just flows into her shell. So Fish is inside her shell.
Yeah, just for a minute. I'll come back out in a bit.
Okay.
That was at disgust at my perception check.
Okay. Sandal, it's your turn.
Okay, seeing Fish's typical reaction to anything. So that's just a stream of. How deep's the water between?
You don't know. It is horrible and mucky and full of you don't want to guess.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to assume Blossom's going to grab it. Okay, so Haga is going to kind of move to about there.
Yep.
And he's going to perception.
Okay, go ahead and roll perception. Again, same as Vienna. looks clear.
Yeah. And I suppose while I'm at it, I should as well. Normal roll. Yeah, no, I'm still too busy trying to fiddle with the contraption to make it
Yeah.
make it airtight. I think that's about all I can do.
Okay. All right. Is that the end of your turn then? Ert's turn.
Yeah.
Okay, question with thaumaturgy. It says that I could make a light tremors in the ground. Would I be able to make those tremors in the surface of the water?
Let me double check thaumaturgy quickly.
It doesn't
to see
say anything about water, but
it will not. But what I'm thinking is you can if you can target the bottom of the canal. But it's whether you need to be able to see that place. Range 30 feet. Just says within range, yeah. So, yeah, you do not need line of sight for that. So, yeah, the bottom of that canal is easily within 30 feet, so you can create tremors which will make ripples on the surface.
So I'm gonna say almost like a like father like daughter moment, because I'm pretty sure the alligators came up last time because Val threw a stone into the water. Is just gonna try and ripple the water and see if anything happens, see if anything
Okay.
comes up using thaumaturgy.
At the end of her turn.
Also, so that'd be a spell. What can she do as a bonus action? Show me weird stuff. Hang on.
Probably just healing word, if I'm correct. Either that or maybe spiritual weapon. They're the two bonus action spells I know 100% for cleric.
She's gonna Shield of Faith.
Shield of Faith. Okay.
Yeah.
On herself, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Okay. That was the wrong button. Button, who's got the button? Not that button. Where's my Shield of Faith gone? I swear someone keeps moving my stuff around. There we go. Okay. Right. Here we go. So yeah, like father, like daughter, creates ripples on the surface of the water, and a long, thin red tentacle shoots out of the water towards her. That is a 14 to hit.
Does not hit.
Okay. Next, Vierna, from the ground in front of you, from a crack, a tentacle shoots out.
Hey.
That dice is rolling garbage. 11 to hit.
I like that dice.
It misses, but I feel like my armor class should be more than 12 for some reason.
Yeah, you're meant to be wearing the Elven Chain, which would give you an armor class of 14.
Yeah, I'll just keep that in mind. But
Yep.
yeah, it misses.
Okay. Xandal, one shoots out of the crack to the south of you. That is a 17 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, so you take... you take 16 bludgeoning damage.
Ouch.
And 16 acid damage.
Ouch.
As this tentacle just sort of slams you back against the sewer wall, and as it comes away, you just feel this ooze left beginning to burn against your skin.
Ouch.
And then Valdision, from just behind in the cracks in the floor, and a tentacle shoots out towards you.
Okay.
That's much better. That's a 25 to hit.
That does hit.
You take... oh, that's a garbage roll. You take 8 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah.
And 12 acid damage.
Okay.
Okay. That is the end of their turns. Blossom, it's now your turn.
How big are these cracks? Or are they
They're
just
about an
slivers?
inch. Yeah, they're about an inch.
Sure. I'll move up with Vierna
Okay.
and just ready an attack if one comes up again.
Okay. I mean, you can see now in this inch-wide crack, there's this red puddle, so you can try and attack it if you want.
Oh, sure. But
It's revealed its location from doing that attack, but
yeah, I'll take a stab at that.
yep, go ahead and roll your attack.
Pun intended.
16.
16 does hit. And again, for these ones, there's no need to roll damage. You watch as this creature in the crack, your whip just sort of carves into it and it appears coming out, forming back into this little Tahlia that falls into this grey puddle of ooze. You still have a second attack if you want to take it. And you still have movement, because you've moved
Yeah,
one.
I think
And
I can get across the other side. Was there
Yep.
one in front of?
there was
or
one
behind?
here and one here.
Sure, I'll go for the one in front of me next to Xandal.
Yep.
14.
Yep. Also hits. Again, this puddle forms up into a tiny Tahlia that then just dissolves into this nasty grey ooze.
Do these things count towards my charges, or do they not have blood?
They do not,
Fair
unfortunately.
enough. That's fine.
Okay. Val, it's your turn.
Did you say that the largest of the tendrils came up out of the water?
No, all the tendrils were the same size.
Okay, but there was one that came out of the water.
There was one that came out the water here.
Okie doke. Basically gonna move up next to Ert and have a look
Yep.
down into the water to see if I can spot where it is. I know it's dark and murky, but see if I can see
Okay.
anything moving.
You can't see anything moving, but you know the general area. You can attempt to attack, but it will be at disadvantage.
Unless I just stare down at the water and breath weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work
That'll
as
work.
well.
Stares down in the water and breath weapon, then.
Roll me. You're gonna roll me damage. This isn't to see whether you kill the thing, but this is for something else.
Okay.
Because that is dead.
14.
Oh, okay. The stuff in this water, this is offloads from factories. This is refuse.
Oh, no.
This is
Oh,
waste.
no.
I need to find. Hang on.
Lightning wouldn't cause it to catch
Concentrate.
fire, would it?
Yeah. Lightning would be an ignition of the gases. Unfortunately, I am just
God
trying
damn
to
it.
find a
Done on your
decent-
fireball spell.
I was going to say, we've cast fireballs down in these sewers before, and it's not ignited. I
well,
swear.
yeah, but again, it.
No, it's fine. I'm not
Well-
questioning what you're saying. I'm just...
You did actually. The last time you jumped in there, it was. You thought you were on fire. So. It was a little different, but. And then the flame skulls did launch fireballs, but they were nowhere near the water the last time. And in this case, this wasn't just like a piddly little fireball that could be put out by the water straight away. This was a concentrated burst of lightning going into the water. So it was a bit more sustained. But yeah, the whole central channel is now on fire. Although you do
with that.
see a bit further up another Tahlia just burst out of the water, cry out, and then perish.
I'm absolutely okay with that. As long as we're not hurt.
Is that the end of your turn, Val? This whole place is now brilliantly lit up as well.
I was just thinking that.
Section. Alright, Shield of Faith.
Okay. Shield of Faith on yourself. Done. Okay.
That's me done.
Vierna, it's your turn.
So no more Tahlias have come out of the water then?
You saw one over here pop out and die, but no others.
Vierna's actually smiling. She's like, okay, that works. But she's going to walk further down the thing.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. There we go.
Okay.
And then have another peer round.
Okay, roll me a perception check. Okay, with a 16, you do see here a little bit of red ooze between the cracks in the ground.
I'm going to Eldritch Blast it.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an attack.
I mean, it's already on fire, so, you know.
Yep, you hit. You didn't need to roll the second one.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, the blast goes off, creating a small crater, and this puddle of ooze forms into a tiny Tahlia before dissolving into the grey ooze that you now know means it's dead.
Cool. That'll be my turn.
Okay. Fish, staying in your
Me
shell.
now. No, I'm going to come out of the shell.
Okay, you come out of your shell, and in the seconds you've been in your shell, the central bit is now on fire. People are looking damaged. You went in when it was fairly calm, and now it's just pandemonium.
So I'm going to come out with my Eldritch Blast. I'm going to move forward. And I'm going to go for... that one in the middle doesn't look like it's been gone for, does it?
They're all dead.
They're all dead.
All the ones you can see are dead. And because you were in your shell, you wouldn't know where the others.
I wouldn't, would I? No. Can I just Eldritch Blast into like thinner? It won't work, would it?
You can. I'll give you a free
I'm gonna
perception
move.
check again.
What I was going to say is
anything.
I'll move forward and do a perception check, and then that might help me decide where I want to attack.
Okay, so go ahead and move your token. As you move, Fish, a tentacle shoots out from literally where you were just standing to try and strike at you as a attack of opportunity. That is a 22 to hit.
22 to hit, so I've got to roll it.
No, what's your AC?
Look for your armor class.
Should be in the little shield icon. Pretty sure 22 beats it, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it does.
Yep, so you take...
It's 12.
You take 16 bludgeoning damage.
That's fine. I'm on 52 at the minute.
And... hang on. 13 acid damage as well.
I hate you all.
Now you get to do your action. And you now know where one is. You know there's one there.
Well,
So
you're going to get
Eldritch
Eldritch
Blast
Blasted on like 2 goes here. I am totally using my Eldritch Blast.
Go ahead and roll your Eldritch Blast.
I am. I'm on it. Bear with me.
Yep, the first one hits, and that's all you needed. As the tiny little... ooze forms up into one of these tiny little Tahlias and then just dissolves into the grey puddle.
And in disgust, I go back in my shell.
Okay.
Can't move in your shell, and nobody's there to grab you.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'll stay there then. I'll stay there.
Okay.
Just saying, Vierna's all, like, would have to take an entire turn to come back and pick you up.
Boo!
Okay. Xandal's turn.
Okay, so I'm going to look at the acid burns, realise it's acid burns. I'm going to hop off of Hagar, and considering most of my spells are acid-based, or my offensive spells, I have a better idea.
Okay.
Now, I don't know whether this would hurt Hagar or not. I'm assuming it wouldn't. But can I cast heat metal on his front paws?
Ooh. Interesting. I would say you can, yes. And it will add the necessary fire damage to his unarmed strikes. However, after this round, every round you have it on him, I will need Hagar to make con saves. With the DC going up each round to basically to see whether the actual parts inside his hands allow them to be dexterous, start taking damage more than anything from the heat.
Well, it's not so much I'm attempting to do unarmed strikes with it. I'm attempting to use him as a napalm strike and just have him run across the entirety of the map,
Okay.
hitting every crack on his way.
All right. But again, this will. Trying to think if that. I would say that would work, but again, it's going to take a couple of rounds, and he is going to have to make con saves. Otherwise, the delicate bits in his hands that allow his fingers and thumbs to move are going to start having problems.
How far would he get in one turn? Moving
I would
so
say
that he doesn't sort of like crush his own paws.
I would
under the
say
heat.
moving slowly and having to, and he's also having to, like, you can't just like put your paw down on a crack and then move away. It would. Oh, I've just realised something.
You just realised what I'm trying to do, haven't you?
No, I've just realised the fire shouldn't have killed that one in the river. It's got immunity to fire. I'll say the lightning killed that one, but you guys don't know that.
Okay.
But yeah. Sorry, I just
yeah.
my bad. But yeah.
No, that's fine.
But yeah, it would probably only be able to move half speed each round if he was having to focus and find the cracks to put his hands over.
Yeah. So Hagar's movement speed, I believe, is 40, so he can move
20.
5, 10, 15.
I mean, you do know the location
20.
of one tendril. It's literally underneath where Val stood.
Underneath Val.
Yeah.
The thing is it's Hagar and Val can't share the same space.
Yeah, but Hagar could move just next to him and be within striking distance.
Yeah, so he's gonna move there, put his paw down over the crack.
Yep. And
nothing happens. Okay. Okay. Force empowered rend it is.
Okay. That hits.
Yeah, so that's force damage.
You don't even need to roll. You'll roll higher than a 1, so
yeah.
Again, the crack just breaks and the ooze just rises up and just dissolves.
Okay, so seeing that the heat didn't do anything, I'm going to drop concentration.
Okay.
And yeah, just have Haga stood in front. Xandal uses action on the spell and bonus action on dealing with Haga. That's all he can do.
Okay. Ert's turn.
Okay, is going to move forward carefully, checking for cracks on the ground. And she's going to take her movement.
So go ahead and make a perception check whilst you move.
Okay, I'm going to move to there, but with the idea that if she sees anything en route, I can move the character back. Perception. No, that's persuasion.
You're going to persuade it to die.
21.
She does see something. She sees one right there, right in front of her.
Okay, in that case, she is going to thwack it with a mace.
Go ahead, roll your attack. That's a hit. As it gets hit and slides up, forming into the tiny Tahlia, and then just dissolving into the grate once more.
Cool. That's her done.
Okay. Right. Well.
Wow.
One pops up out of this crack over here and runs at Ert. I moved that to the wrong place. To there. And is going to attempt to grapple her.
Okay.
So, athletics versus athletics. Or acrobatics, depending, whichever you prefer.
Okay. No.
No, it does successfully grapple Ert.
Okay.
And, yep, Ert is going to have to make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay. Let's check distance to Val. 30 foot.
That's too far for the aura.
Is it? I
10
thought it was
foot for the aura.
Is it?
10
Okay.
foot for the aura. It goes to 30 foot at higher levels.
Okay. So, con save. No.
No, so you're going to take full damage for this. You take 14 necrotic damage.
Okie doke.
Okay, and that is the end of its turn. Alright, Blossom.
Guess I'll move up to that one, slash it.
Yep.
$11.
Hits and smushes it.
Interesting.
Ert is just left covered in dripping grey ooze.
Hopefully that's not still burning.
No. And that is the end of combat.
For now.
For now.
Nikki died again.
Yeah. Well, hopefully she'll be back in a second.
Xandal's going to take a couple of samples if he can.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, the ooze sat there, just it's wobbly and disgusting.
I'm once again getting flashbacks to bloody Ghostbusters, where he's like taking samples off the books. He's like, "What? I like spores, molds, and fungi."
That's brilliant.
Yeah. Classics. Right. Shall we try and put this fire out?
The fire will go out by itself fairly quickly. It's basically just burning up all the flammables, and then the water that is on will just put it out anyway.
It's probably doing a good thing for the town, to be fair, getting rid of all these gases and.
Although the smoke is starting to, gather in this underground tunnel with no air vents.
Yeah. So, yeah, we can either move or I don't think I've got anything that can put it out. So,
If we move further ahead, does it stop?
Yeah. It doesn't continue for very long.
Okay, so we could move up ahead into an area that doesn't have the flames.
yeah. Okay, yeah, Vierna's going ahead.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll move you guys off of this map now. You don't need to be on it anymore.
On to the
Okay.
next boss map.
As you guys make your way through the tunnels, Val, you're starting to remember more and more of the route. You notice the burned sigil trap that you guys had encountered before that blew you down a corridor into this next upcoming room, which you remember with that had the flame skulls in.
I do warn everybody about the flame skulls, and we need to be careful because I don't think we got rid of the flame skulls. We just avoided them.
You did. You put them. You put the remains that were slowly putting themselves back together into into the sewer water to be flushed out to sea.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
Flush your problems away. I see.
Do you remember that there was a creature that we defeated, but we just left down a corridor as well? I can't remember what that was.
You defeated the undead crocodiles and the creature that was animating them, but then it just dissolved into goo.
Ah, okay.
Similar to these, but slightly different. And then the other thing that you defeated was the demon that was summoned, but that was in the ritual room because Thaumaturgy kept banging the door closed.
As we're moving, could Sandal use one of his kit expertise, well, not expertises, but proficiencies, to try and determine a possible weakness? Because I'm assuming, well, we learned for definite that fire doesn't affect it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming acid doesn't either, considering the state Xandal is in. So yeah, it's just a case of like determining
Go
weaknesses.
ahead and roll me an intelligence check plus your proficiency modifier.
Okay. Intelligence. Oh. Roll. So that would be a +3 to that, so a 14.
14. Looking at what you have available here, you can tell that, as you said, it is definitely immune to fire and acid.
Yeah.
You would guess that it is probably resistant to necrotic.
Yeah.
From just the general way that it uses necrotic. The only other thing that you can gather, and base this a bit off of Tahlia and knowledge of her, is that it was probably resistant to poison as well.
Okay. So, yeah, I'll explain this to the other, so possibly explain that divine energies, aka radiant, and possibly colder damage types may have a better effect than the others.
Noted.
Yeah.
With that, Vierna prepares her packed weapon, which is the ice rapier.
Yep, it forms out of the air in front of you, the cold mist flowing off of it.
Okay. And then
So Val, you lead them past that trapped sigil, which again is currently completely inert.
Yep.
And you make your way through that area with the bridges and the canals where you fought the flame skulls.
Okay.
And
Before
now
we
ahead
get
of
into
you,
that room, Val is literally just gonna almost super seriously stop the people, and then he's just gonna stick his head round the corner first, and it's just like, phew, there's nothing there. Let's go.
And indeed, there is nothing there. But yeah, so you guys make your way, and you can now see in front of you the closed door to the ritual room.
Okay. So, do we knock? She actually says that too, everyone.
I mean, I don't tend to like to interrupt Tahlia and Gunther when they're in a locked room, but I feel like we have to in this case.
Vierna takes a deep breath and she's like, I've seen a damn sight worse, and just shoves open the door.
As you shove the door, it is locked.
Damn it. This is where we really need Tahlia with her lockpicks.
But as you slam into it, Vierna, you do hear from the other side just a ah!
She'll call as like, Gunther, it's us.
Yeah, you don't hear anything else currently.
Right, okay.
So, which one of us is going to try and pick the lock?
Do we need to pick it, or is it breakable?
Either or. Guys, tell me what you're wanting to do.
I can probably pick it. Well, I think I actually own these tools. If not, I can turn my tools into it.
Would it be a performance check if we were trying to pick the lock?
No, it would be a sleight of hand check.
I mean, that's the same modifier anyway, but...
Yeah, I own thieves' tools, so I can probably... and I am proficient in it, so...
Awesome.
Okay.
I will have a go.
Yep, go ahead.
I don't have a thieves' tools roll.
It's just sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. I should have known this one. And that was... a 13. 15, yes.
Yep. Zandal, you sort of get down and you look at the lock and you carefully insert the tools, and it takes a bit longer than Tahlia may have done, but this is a pretty simple lock. You get it unlocked and the door opens ever so slightly on the hinges.
Yep. There we go.
And then Vierna tries again and bangs the door open.
Yep, the door bursts open and you rush into...
She just shoves Zandal out the way and just like bang.
This
I can
room.
imagine of like just full charging it, getting nowhere, and then just sat there waiting patiently for Zandal to unlock it, and then does it again.
Yeah, that's exactly
Arms crossed, feet tapping.
Exactly. Don't know.
As you burst into the room, it's exactly as you remember it, Val, although the corpses that you left in here last time of the cultists and the demon have all vanished and are gone. And across the way from the lit torches, you can see Gunther's prone form laid on the floor with what looks like restraints made out of ooze currently wrapped around him. He looks disheveled. His clothing is a bit mussed and sort of a couple of rips here and there, and there's what looks like slight acid burns on various parts of his skin.
Hold monster.
Sorry,
hold monster. We've rushed through the door. Do I get a surprise round?
No, it knew you were coming.
Oh.
It heard Vierna bang into the door.
Oh.
But yes, and you see stood in front of him defensively, glaring at you all, Tahlia. It looks like Tahlia. Again, you can see the very faint differences because you know to look for them, but for all intents and purposes, if you didn't know, this would be Tahlia.
Vierna just approaches her and says, "You're not Tahlia. Let him go."
He is mine. Mine. My Gunther. You can't have him.
I don't want him, but the real Tahlia does.
No. Mine. Mine. Mine! And everyone needs to roll me initiative, please.
Vierna was waiting for her to. I forgot to select my token again. I'm very sorry.
It's alright. Oof. Ooh, 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 ooh. That was one hell of a roll. Right, so fish.
For some reason it rolled it twice, but I got 9.
Okay, so fish got a 15.
Oh, I selected my token, but Val's has not clicked on.
That's okay, I can sort it. So 9 for Vierna. Blossom got that, so it's just Val I need to sort. And what did you get, Val? 12.
No, it was 14. It was 12.
14. Oh, sorry. My bad. Right, there we go. Put you all back where you were. Vierna had approached, so Vierna would be about there. Right, top of the initiative order is the Tahlia clone. So, from out of a crack next to you, Vierna, a tiny Tahlia appears and is going to attempt to grapple you. Okay, so go ahead and roll athletics or acrobatics, please. Your choice.
Yay.
Okay, you do actually beat it, so it does not get to grapple you.
Just slaps it to one side.
And one is going to appear from here, and another from here. And they are going to rush up and attempt to grapple both Blossom and So
Okay.
we'll do Blossom first. Where did my dice go? There it is. Oh, that's not good.
18.
Yep, that fails. And then the one trying to grapple Urt, that's not good either.
There we go. 22.
Yep, you all managed to escape those grapples. So the one next to Vierna is going to make a pseudopod attack as its final action. Nope, doesn't hit. That was... oh, hang on. No, it rolled a 6. That's 15 to hit.
Yeah, that does hit.
That, I was about to say, that would hit. I thought it didn't.
Yeah.
I was... So, Vierna, you take... That's 17 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And 15 acid damage.
Ouch.
And the main body here is going to go 5, 10, 15. And is going to go over to Gunter and absorb him into its body.
Oh.
Okay. Fish, it's your turn.
I don't know what to do. Let's do a perception check.
Okay. Just wait for it to pop through.
Yeah, just wait. Okay, so I got 11. What does that give me?
11. So you can see that all the ones that you can see, but you don't see any others, from what you can tell.
Okay. Team, I'm thinking about attacking one of them. Is that wise? Do you want me to, or?
Yes.
Yep. Attack.
Okay, I'll just check in. That's what we want to do. Go on then. I'm going to go for the one on the right. I'm going to Eldritch Blast them. So I'm going to press my button. I get 2, don't I? So I'm going to do that
Yep.
now.
So just do one first, because you may get to attack 2, because if you hit, this thing's gone. You just have to hit. So yep, the first one you hit, and that splatters into a pile of goo. So now you can attack this one here as well if you want. That one does not hit, unfortunately. It sees the blast coming and just sort of flattens itself to let the blast fly over it.
Right, so that's the end of my turn, isn't it?
You've still got movement if you want to take it.
No, I'm going to stick in a team.
Okay. Val, it's your turn.
Hey, see what I've got distance-wise. So... I'm going to do what seems like my standard move. Actually, no, I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to go 60. I'm going to start running.
Yep.
And try and do a Misty Step to get to... I think it was there for 60 foot.
Yep.
Actually, how long is Misty Step?
Misty Step should be 60 feet.
Oh, if it was 60 feet, then...
I'll just double check.
I'll pull it up here.
I've got it on my phone, don't worry. 30 feet to an unoccupied space.
Well, I could just dash, actually. I could just do that as a run and my movement speed.
Yep.
So I'm going to get to there. And that'll be me done.
Your movement and your action. Okay, any bonus action? I'm assuming you're still concentrating on Shield of Faith.
Yes, I've still got that up.
So
would that have lasted that long, actually?
No, you would have been walking a fair while, actually. Sorry.
I'll recast that then.
Yep.
Cool, and that'll be me done.
Okay, Zandal, it's your turn.
Would I know whether I've got the containment unit
Roll me an intelligence check plus proficiency. Let's see how well you've done on this during this journey.
Yeah. So that would be 25.
Yeah,
26 even.
Yeah, you think this thing is airtight.
Get her off. Get a
thing.
Yes, off Gunther. And hopping onto Hager's back. I'm going to get 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 to there. And Zandal's going to hold his action to try and capture the major ooze. 5, 10, 15, 20, and Hager's going to dash 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
As Hager goes to move, you do actually leave the threatened range, so it is going to take an attack of opportunity against you.
Okay.
That is 23 to hit.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll a d6. On even, it hits Hager. On odd, it hits Zandal.
Yeah.
It's 5.
Oh god.
So Zandal, you take... Hang on. Just gotta remember my own numbers. 12. 18 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And 16 acid damage.
Okay.
And this one over here has now just revealed its location by doing that. Yeah, you were within the 10 feet reach, so you left its threatened area.
So Zandal's now unconscious.
Oh
and
dear.
Hager can't do anything else.
Yeah. Okay. So you all watch as Hager and Zandal pulls out this complicated looking, like, almost like urn, but with like valves and pumps and all sorts on it. And hops on Hager's back and just goes charging across the floor. And as he gets about halfway there, this tendril just lashes out, whacks him across the back of the head, and Zandal just goes limp. I'm going to roll a d6 again. Okay, the containment unit doesn't fall out of Zandal's hands. It is still in his hands and safe.
A secret keeper to the end.
It could have
My-
potentially fallen to the ground and smashed just then.
Oh,
Okay, Blossom, it's your turn.
I think that was a quiet. I'm going to attack that one.
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot I'm muted because there's fireworks going off.
Yeah, I've got fireworks going off near me too.
Yeah, is there an event or something? Is it?
It's
I
the
don't
start
know,
of
I think
spooky
it's-
season.
I can see them
yeah, I
from
was
my
going to
window
say
and
we're
they're
about
really
a month
close.
away from.
Yeah, November the
2
5th.
months.
So
Yeah,
people
2
are-
months away from November the 5th.
It's the start of spooky season, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Don't know, but
I don't think I've ever seen
Someone's decided to.
fireworks for Halloween.
No.
I'm looking out my window and they are so close. I can see
I can
them.
actually hear them over the mic. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really sorry if anyone else can hear that, but there's not much
Yeah,
I can
no,
do about
that's-
it.
I've not been
fine.
hearing yours, but I checked my mic whenever they're going off. They've
Yeah.
started to pick up, so they're just a constant thing in the background now.
Yeah.
Anyway, attack the one near first.
Yeah.
So,
That hits, so turns into a little puddle.
right, I have no idea where that is.
So you've got one here,
Yeah.
one here, and then the main body.
So that one. Killing that one as well.
That one again dissolves into the puddle. You've still got the rest of your movement and your
yeah, I can
bonus action left.
Quite easily get to there.
Yep. Alright. End of your turn. It's now Ert's turn.
Hey, I'm just working something out a second. That was me. To clear all and do that. I'm just rereading all my stuff.
It's okay.
It's alright.
There's nothing that can give me a buff. I'm just going to go with my original plan and hold monster.
Okay. So what saving throw is that?
That is a 15.
On what
wisdom.
What save?
Sorry.
Wisdom save. That's a 12. It fails, so I believe that means that it is paralyzed.
Yeah, for the duration.
Okay, which it gets to make saving throws, I believe, at the end of turns.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Would that, out of curiosity, being paralysed, would that allow Gunther to try and break the hold? And if so, would he be in the turn order?
Possibly. You'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
You do notice though that the last little one here you can see also goes rigid.
Cool.
Okay. Vierna, it's your turn.
Right. This thing in the middle, it's nothing to be worried about, right?
No, that was the old ritual circle. It's pretty scuffed and broken.
Right. I'm just seeing what I can do. I think the only thing I'm gonna. I'm too far away. Damn it. I will be making my way over to Xandal.
Okay.
So, as close as I can get to him is probably there. So, why did I just click? I think it was there. Can't remember.
That's right.
Bonus action dash.
You're not a rogue.
Damn it. Okay. Use my action to dash.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
Okay. It's now its turn. It is paralyzed. At the end of its turn, it is going to attempt to break out. It fails. Okay. Fish, it's your turn.
Sorry, I'm here. I just nipped out.
Sorry.
Oh. Right, I'm going to move forward.
Yep.
And then, I don't know where all them little blooming fake Tahlias are.
You know at the moment that because the main body is paralyzed, all the little ones are as well.
That's all right then. I'm just checking. There's no more. Right, I'm just going to move forward. I'm going to go behind. Can't find my character. Where are you?
She's up here.
My screen's really weird. So it's like I have to move everything and then press my L and then. Yeah. We're going to move forward about 20 feet, just behind. And then do. Yeah, I think I'm happy just moving forward at the minute.
Okay. All right, Val, it's your turn.
Okay, Val is going to move right in front of Tahlia.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm
Paralyzed.
pausing. Yeah, I was pausing for a second to see if you were going to do something, but... okay, and... knowing that this creature is basically some kind of ooze thing, the thing Val is going to do is... I don't know what role you want me to do for this, but is to punch in and try and grab Gunther somewhere, either an arm, a leg, or an appendage, and pull him out.
That would be an athletics check, please, which is not a very high DC. If this thing wasn't paralyzed, you would be fighting against it, but it is
15?
15. You managed to pull Gunther free. Nope, wrong token. Bring the Gunther out. Gunther has been freed. Gunther is currently still, like, prone and, like, unconscious, but he doesn't look hurt.
Okay, so... that's good.
That would have been your action, though, to do that.
Yeah, and I'm still maintaining Shield of Faith, so I can't really do a lot. I think that's going to be it for Val.
Okay. Alright. Xandal, first death saving throw, please.
Okay. I don't know whether it would actually count, but my what's the feature? The Flash of Genius. When you or another creature that you can see within 30 feet of you makes an ability check or a saving throw, you can use your reaction to add +3 to the roll.
This is not an ability check or saving throw. This is a death saving throw. It does not count. You are also unconscious. You cannot consciously add a Flash of Genius to this.
Worth a try.
No longer dead. Woo!
Yeah. Hold on. I don't know how to roll it on Beyond.
Just roll me a d20.
Bear with me. I've got it. So I can do it on Roll20. There we go.
That is a pass. So. Okay, Blossom, your turn.
Yep. With feline agility, I can quite easily get behind the Tahlia.
Yep. Not that you need advantage. You already have advantage. She's paralyzed.
Yeah, but it also stops it running away if it comes. Although that's at the end of the turn anyway, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, just slash at it. Don't need to worry about hitting.
Both hit auto crits because it's paralyzed.
Interesting.
Any melee attack against the paralyzed creature is an auto crit.
So first, okay.
So that's 4
30 damage in total, I think.
30.
20.
Total. Okay, 20. As your blade cuts through, it's doing damage, just not not as much as you were expecting, even up this close, and with it being paralyzed. Like the nature of its body, like the cut isn't cutting. Like it's hard. Like you do see it is cutting, but it stops cutting and then just sort of passes through the rest of the body, just because it's ooze.
Sure.
Okay, Ert's turn.
I mean, Ert's focusing on the spell at the moment, so it's not a lot she can do. However,
Yeah,
she's
I need to put concentration on.
She's gonna move a little bit further in, just in case she is needed for healing.
Okay, you do realize you can cast other spells alongside a concentration spell.
Oh, can
You
I?
just can't cast another concentration spell.
Right.
So, as long as it doesn't say concentration, you can cast spells. You can hold monster and still cast guiding bolt
Oh, okay.
and that sort of thing. That's absolutely fine.
In that case, she's going to cast a 4th level guiding bolt.
Yep, and you get advantage on the roll because they're paralyzed.
It's a good thing I got it.
Good thing. Oh, but that one. Yeah, I'm going to roll another dice quick. Roll the damage for that, please.
Yeah, it's gonna hit Val into it.
Advantage though, wouldn't it be a 9?
Yeah, it's the 19.
Oh, it's the 9.
The 9
yeah.
rather.
Yeah, so that's fine. So it
Okay.
just misses.
Yeah, I was going to say I thought it was an advantage.
Yeah.
That's her
Yeah,
turn.
so that just misses, unfortunately. Okay, Vierna, it's your turn.
I am going to pull out my last regular health potion and ram it pretty much down Sandal's throat.
Okay, so that's your action. So that's 2d4.
Ah, she does care.
2d4 plus 4.
Do you want me to roll it?
I can roll it if you want.
Yeah.
I've got d4s here. So Zandal, you heal for 7 hit points.
Only because I know he's the one with the bloody jar and I ain't working that thing.
So Zandal, you are out of death saves.
And that was my action, yeah?
Yeah, so you've still got movement and bonus.
I don't have bonus actions, so I'm going to stay put.
Okay. Now the ooze clone's turn and is going to attempt to break the hold monster at the end of its turn. Oh, 1 off! Rolled a 14! Okay. Fish, your turn.
Okay, so I'm going to go after that one over there. Move in 20 feet. Is it 20, 30 feet? Let's have a
You
look.
get 30 feet of movement, and it is... Yeah, you can get right next to it with 30 feet.
That's where I was going to go with it. I'm going to Eldritch Blast it.
Okay, go ahead. Yep, just gets splattered into nothing.
Excellent. I've got another Eldritch Blast, haven't I?
Yep. The only
Right.
other enemy you can currently see is the main body over here.
Yeah, let's give it a go.
Okay.
Let's go for it.
You have advantage, so you can roll this twice. The 19 does hit, so go ahead and roll damage on that.
Has it done it?
Yeah, it's not working. Hang on a minute.
Hang on, I'll click it. There we go. That worked.
Oh, thanks. I'm trying to click and it's just I don't know what's going on.
Okay, you all watch as that just slams into it and just blasts away some of the ooze from it. Okay. Val, it's your turn.
Hey. I can't drag somebody with me with Misty Step, can I?
No, not with Misty Step.
Okay. What am I gonna do? I am going to Mortimer's Lance.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pump. How many spell slots have I got left? Third level spell slot?
I've just realised Ertz burned her only 5th level spell in this fight, and it's doing such good.
Yes. It's the first time she's cast it, I think.
Yeah.
But she hasn't got anything else that would really help on 5th level.
True.
In fact, all of our healing stuff is like 4th and 3rd level, so... Anyway, I'm going to pump a 3rd level spell slot into that for a smite.
Okay, so that is an additional 4d8.
Okay.
That hits, that's an auto crit.
Okay.
So I'm assuming two-handed.
Yeah, and 4d8.
That 12 plus 5 is 17.
Another 16.
Doubled.
Yeah.
So that's 32 plus 17, that's 49. But only some of that gets halved. So that's 39 damage.
Okay.
Ouch.
I'm going to hit again.
Wow.
Hang on.
That's if it's still standing. Oh god.
Let me do my maths.
Hang on.
That hit. Okay, this one doesn't have a smite on it, yeah?
And now it's got 3rd level spite.
Yep. Go ahead.
Another 48.
I feel like Balazar's spirit is.
Oh,
with
that's
us
a nice
now.
one.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
What's 56 unmitigated?
Yeah. Ouch. Okay. So
Again, I feel like Balazar is with us somehow.
in the span of a turn, this thing went from looking fine to looking wounded.
Is it bloodied?
No, it's oozed. Okay. That the end of your turn, Val?
I don't think there's anything else I can do.
Would have been funny if you did, though.
Actions. In case there is. No. Divine Smite, extra attack.
Divine Smites can be so OP.
Would I be able... I'm looking at the turn order. Actually, no, there's no point. I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay. Xandal, it's your turn. You've woken up to Vierna having shoved a potion down your gullet.
Thanks. He's gonna get up. Hager's going to finally come across.
Yep.
And Xandal's gonna go full goo buster.
Yep.
What are you gonna call?
Go ahead. Roll me
Capture
a
the thing.
d20 plus your intelligence modifier as an attack roll. You get advantage as it is paralyzed.
Nice. I will use d20 plus my intelligence modifier, so I use that anyway.
Yep.
Not proficiency, no, so I've got to take some
No,
off
not
of that.
proficiency. I wouldn't count you as proficient with a random airtight yarn that you've just made.
Be worried if he was.
Advantage, so we're going to have to take 3 off of the roll.
Okay.
Where is it? I'm just using the crossbow for thing.
Yep.
So that would
3
be
off
a
of the roll.
14.
14 does not hit, unfortunately.
Okay. I do have extra attack, so would that count?
I would allow a secondary attack, yeah, because it's paralyzed.
Yeah. Okay. Where is it?
24 does.
So 21.
hit.
Yeah.
21. Yeah, 21 does hit. As
Sucking
you
it.
all watch as the main body gets sucked into this containment tube, and then you all watch as around this room, multiple tiny little Tahlias get sucked through the air and into it as well. And then more appear coming through cracks and along the sewers, and eventually there's none left, and you slam the lid on and lock it tight.
Yeah.
You better keep hold of that, Zandal.
And that is the end of
Yep.
combat.
Oh my days.
With a very intelligent plan by Zandal and a
How the hell
clutch
have we done
hold
that?
Oh my god.
I feel like you've got the
Well
best
done,
person
Zandal.
playing the smart characters, to be honest.
I
Because
just
I'd
go
never
in my
thought of that.
blasting or go into the chef.
Can't believe I rolled a 14 rather than a 15 on that save. I'm still not rolling a 15. Oh, I just rolled that 20.
Thank goodness. Right.
So check how Gunther's doing. Still conscious? Or...
He's unconscious, but
Unconscious.
he's stable. He's not dying or anything. He still looks healthy. He's just not conscious currently.
Let's get him back to the jigging jester. Zandal, let's get back to the alchemist and get that back to I always forget her name.
Inala.
Inala. Yep.
Right. Yeah, Xandel's just going to sort of like slump into the back of Hagar and just sort of like double check over like the containment unit and make sure there's no leaks, cracks, or
No,
anything.
this thing is tight, but as you're looking at it, there is a couple of glass sections, and you do see the ooze inside grow, just like an eye that just glares at you.
Yeah. Xandel just sort of like just sits there like, no, I'm done with today.
On the way back out of this room, Val is gonna take a look around to see if there's any way of destroying this room, just because it's becoming a reoccurring location. He doesn't see that.
There's no visible signs that you can see of like breaking this room. Like there's no structural support pillars or anything. Short of bringing something down here to do it, you don't think there's anything.
Yeah, but on the way out, he also like pats on the back and just goes, "If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have succeeded today. Well done."
She just smiles and bashfully sort of looks at her feet, but you can see she's secretly pleased.
That's good.
Right. Val, are you taking Gunther back?
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to go the long way around.
As you pick Gunter up, he does sort of, his eyes blearily blink open, and he looks up at you and goes, "I've seen things, gooey things."
Yeah. Now you know how we feel.
It did things to me, Val.
I'm sure they're things you've done before.
I'm not proud to say it, but slightly, yeah.
We'll get you back.
Thank you. I think I'm going to pass back out now into the bliss of, not having these. And he's gone.
And he kind of shifts him up onto his shoulder, but kind of slaps his butt as he does it, just to see if he wakes back up.
As you do, you actually slap Bear butt. His trousers in that particular area have been melted off.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of ooze residue there.
Ooh. Oh no.
Oh.
Okay. I'll probably go with Zandal to take the goo back to Inala.
Okay. As you guys make the sewers back to the manhole you had originally come down through, the kobolds now visibly guiding you, coming out of their holes and sort of like guiding you along, and like occasionally, like they're all very pleased to see you, and they're like, thank you for ridding us of it, thank you, and just like guiding you along and ushering you through the sewers. But they bring you back to the manhole you'd originally come down in the Gateway District, and you ascend back into late evening. You've been down in these sewers most of the day.
I'm going to ask an awkward question. Does Val have to take the long way round, or is he going to have to take another slime sucker to get through that manhole whilst carrying Gunther?
I mean, you can try and make me an acrobatics check if you prefer.
I'm going to try an acrobatics check, and if that fails...
The DC is lower because you are more used to your wings now.
Okay. Right. Nope.
No,
Oh,
despite being like you're used to your wings and you could get yourself out, the problem is your wings and Gunter. Now it's like you manage to get Gunter out, but then your wings get jammed. You manage to get your wings out, but then Gunter gets jammed.
Well, as
And
all of us are getting out the manhole, what I probably would have done is pass Gunther through the manhole to somebody who's already gotten out, and then tried to get out myself.
If you do it like that, then yes, you can manage to get out.
Okie doke. Because I think that would be a bit weird if
Haggle
I
would
turned
probably
into
grab
slime.
him. Yeah, Haggle will probably grab him.
Okay. Right, so we will do the ones going to Inala first. So Zandal and Vierna. As you make your way out and to the Alchemist Guild, you get there and you can see a bunch of workmen currently bringing a heavy steel door out of the doors of the Alchemist Guild.
Ooh.
Bearing in mind that you guys left Inala's workshop through a portal, leaving it locked from the inside.
oh yeah.
Was it locked from the inside?
Yeah, it
Yes.
was.
Then we
Oh,
could
yeah,
have got
'cause
out.
You
Oh,
could,
right.
but there was actual like key locks and stuff as
Oh,
well,
right,
which
okay, yeah.
the ooze took the key with it.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for the crazy lady.
She's not visible outside, but as you go in, you can hear her from upstairs in her workshop going, "Ah, such a waste of a door. Oh, hopefully it hasn't infected any of my other... No, it's destroyed the experiments. Oh no!"
Well, she kind of announces behind her. We've got some good
You're
news
back.
and some bad news.
Yes, what?
Good news for you is we've got it sort of intact.
Oh my goodness, you
The
caught
bad
it
news
alive?
is, for us, we've caught it alive.
Oh, excellent. Where is it?
Sandal just sort of like sits there in the back of Hagger looking at her like,
Do you really want this?
What did you create?
An experiment?
So,
You should understand experiments, young Goldhill.
Yes, but mine don't tend to take on the form of other people and go on a rampage.
Yes, well, yours could tend to cause explosions, which admittedly mine do as well, so I haven't really got a leg to stand on there. So, anyway, it's all in the name of science.
yes, but this science experiment
Needs destroying.
needs destroying quickly.
And he holds up the containment unit.
Oh, excellent. But it's got so many potential applications. Don't you see?
We saw very well, actually, what it was capable of. Thank you.
But getting to study something like that firsthand, the amount of alchemical knowledge I gained from it. I mean, Zandal, you are a man of science. Surely you understand the potential capabilities of something like this if tamed, put into a potion form.
Yes, but...
Thing does not leave that jar unless it can be contained, weakened in any way, shape or form, because that is not getting out again. And she's kind of standing over Inala at this point.
Xandal, could I perhaps trouble you to build me something like what it's in there, but bigger, perhaps, and interactable through, so we can experiment on it?
I can see what I can do, but until then, this does not leave the containment vessel. And if I can't build it, you experiment on it, where it can't be around millions of people.
It wasn't around people, it was in my workshop. The
And
fact
it
that it
escaped.
knocked me out and escaped means nothing.
At this point, Vierna's just staring into her head. She can probably feel.
Roll me an intimidation check.
Intimidation.
just Vienna just glaring at her, and Dandle's disapproving looks, and she just sort of crosses her arms and goes, "Fine. Prevent me from temptation. You should keep hold of it until you can decide something for me. Is that agreeable to you?"
It is.
Fine. Okay, we have an agreement then.
Very well. Very well. Please tell your friend Tahlia I apologize that this has happened, and that I'd love to see her for more experiments soon if possible. Yes.
I think it's more than Tahlia you need to be sending apologies to. They had Gunter.
Who's Gunter?
The jigging jester. Never mind. She never leave you out.
I don't. Yes, I don't particularly leave the workshop. Sorry.
All right. It took more than Tahlia.
Well, I would assume it would probably have been fixated on anyone it got from the memories it gained from the blood. So my apologies to whoever that was.
Right. Let's go check up on the others.
I'm going. You check up on the others. I'll go back to the tower and make sure my guest is safe.
Vienna, you do know that there is a vault under the jigging jester. Should
I was
you want to
just
offer
about to say that to Xandal. I was going to say, Xandal, just be aware that there is actually a vault specifically in the jigging jester for any
Yes.
items that we deem.
He would know because he was there when we put the soulbound
Yeah.
item in there.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, when you put the amulet of awakening in there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, but there is that amulet under there, and it has Talia's memories. If it were to escape,
Oh, good thought. Yeah, I understand. Get it somewhere where Tahlia doesn't know. I'm with
yes.
you.
Okay,
Right.
so you guys head off, leaving Inala currently sweeping up ruined experiments and grumbling to herself that doesn't get what she considers her opus, her greatest
She will
creation.
in time, but
back.
under strict rules.
And
Yeah.
Daniel, you head off to your tower to find some secluded place to put this, whilst Vienna, you head back to the jester.
Yeah.
For the rest of you who have returned to the jigging jester, you open the door carrying Gunter in your arms, Val, and you see Rook stood behind the bar, giant club at the ready, and when he sees it, he goes, "All right."
Yeah, we've sorted it now.
All good?
For the most part. And Gunther's okay. Just tired.
Good. Don't want to find another employer. And he watches, he puts the club back underneath the bar and then leans down and scoops Tahlia up gently in his arms, comes over to you and goes, "Want me to take him?"
We can take them both upstairs.
Okay, put them both in their bed. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and he carries Talia upstairs and puts her. As you enter into Gunter's room, by the way, Gunter and Talia's room, it is wrecked.
Yeah, I can imagine.
There is signs of a struggle having happened, but Rook makes the bed enough that it's decent and goes, "I tidy later," and gently lays Talia down in it.
And Val's going to quickly rush down to Ert and grab the chest plate out of the book and return it
Yep.
to where he found it.
Okay. All right. And I'm assuming you put Gunter in the bed as well.
Yeah, I would have done that first and then gone down and
Yeah.
grabbed the breastplate.
Okay. You watch as Gunter almost unconsciously pulls Talia into his chest and sort of he's whimpering a little in his sleep.
I was actually going to say, is that wise since he doesn't... Does he know that that's not an ooze, Talia?
No, which could be entertaining when he
No,
wakes up. We'll see.
that's kind of what I'm thinking.
But you all then retreat back downstairs and Rook goes, "You got mail."
Oh?
And brings out a envelope and hands it to you.
Okay. I, once again, will probably need somebody to read this out because I can't pull it up on my screen.
So there we go. Showed to everyone.
Yeah, I can't make it any bigger.
So whoever wants to read that out, feel free. Or I can read it out if no one else wants to.
I feel like Steph should probably read it out.
I was going to say I didn't do it last time, but
No.
yeah, I have been reading it as if I was Rawen. But
Yeah. Go ahead.
Dear Armatae, please allow me to apologise for my last letter. It appears that I was very much mistaken. I have now been employed by Lady Ulva... I can't pronounce the name.
Ilalva.
Ilalva.
Yep.
Lady Ilalva Dawn, who has reassured me that there is no cause for concern here and these sightings are just whispers from the paranoid. Of course, you are all still welcome to visit, as and when you feel ready, but there's no need to rush. Your friend, Rawen.
I'm just saying this out of game at the moment. Is the handwriting on the word Rawen meant to be different from the previous letter?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
It's not meant to be different, no.
No, I was rushing these letters when I wrote them, admittedly. So
That's fine. That's why I thought I'd ask out of game, just in case it was a like a forgery
deliberate
situation.
thing.
Yeah. Val just mentions that the tone of the letter doesn't really sound like Rawen to him. Or it sounds a little bit forced.
Just sort of scratches her head and goes, "Little odd. Maybe might be worth a visit."
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I do miss Rawen.
We'll have to see. Depends what happens with Xandal as well, yeah?
Yes, we've got to help Xandal first. That seems more pressing at the moment.
Okay. And by this point, Vienna, you return to the jester.
Okay. I kind of collar everyone and be like, right, where are they both?
We put them upstairs in bed.
Awake?
No, they're asleep. They're still sleeping.
Vienna kind of thinks, I'm actually going to sit in their room. I'm going to pull up a chair, actually in their room, and wait for Gunter to wake up.
Okay. All right. The rest of you just sort of get a couple of drinks and start relaxing after that rather interesting day. In the meantime, Xandal, you return to your tower.
Yes.
What do you do with your new friend?
My new house guest. I'm not going to take it down to the basement where all my successes are. I'm going to take it up to my workshop where I'd be working and able to keep an eye on it. Put it into sort of like a cupboard
Okay.
with like a glass front so that I can see it at all times.
Okay.
I'm then just going to sit down, take a moment to sort of like breathe, relax, probably pump a cure wounds into myself. And then have Haga bring me a nice cup of like tea.
Okay.
And then
As you are enjoying your cup of tea and your wounds, you hear bzzz as a Domiat flies through the window and hovers in front of you, hand holding a letter.
I am going to read said letter.
Okay. The letter is from Halise. It expresses her excitement that you might potentially be coming to visit. It talks about just general goings on in Riverrun, like things like how your brother Arvon is still being a stuck-up git, how your father, the Baron, is still trying to use people and raise his own station, and how so far he appears to have been stymied in most of his approaches to other nobles because of Alice's own general reputation as
A tearaway.
as she puts it, a spitfire, but you pretty much get the idea.
Yeah.
But she also mentions that there has been your father has seemed worried as of late because of some reports from the guards as well.
Okay. I'm just going to send one back, just telling her to keep safe, and we'll be there as soon as we can.
Okay. Adomiat takes the letter and zips off.
Damn, I need to start paying that bird. I'm going to check my mail as well, just to see whether my funds have been topped up.
So it has not yet been a new month, so
Okay.
I've not had your usual retainer from your father yet.
No. Okay. I'm then going to sort of like split a bit of time doing a bit of work between M's unit and gathering the materials around the tower to sort of like build a larger containment unit.
Okay. All right. That takes up pretty much the rest of your evening.
Yeah.
All
How
right.
far through building M's unit would you say I am now?
So how far did we say last time? You were about a quarter of the way
I think so. Yeah, I built sort of like I've gotten all the leg mechanisms working. It's just building the actual body.
Was mostly overnight the last time. That would have been interrupted by today. I would say if you spend a couple more hours on it today before you inevitably crash.
Yeah, because I'm going to be using M's help anyway, so.
Yeah, I would say you probably get a bit more of it done. You're probably now up to a third. No, not quite a third of the way through. I would say 3/8 to bring it up to the correct sort of amount. So it's just that little bit more than a quarter.
Yeah, and before Xandal essentially crashes out, he's going to give Haga the order to keep an eye on the ooze thing and to wake him should anything happen.
And Haga takes that quite literally and just flops down in front of the container, like almost eyeball to glass, and is just staring at it. And you do see an eye form in the ooze, and just the world's longest staring contest begins.
Yes. Yeah, that's me.
Yep. Back at the jigging jester, Vierna, after about an hour, Gunter does begin to stir. And you watch as he sort of begins to blurrily wake up and sees Tahlia in his arms. cuddles her closer for a second, and then, like, sort of seems to realize what he's doing, puts her at arm's length, and sort of, like, stares at her,
Before
looks down at himself, looks, hears your cough, and looks at you and goes, "This is the real one, right?"
That's the real one. Just wanted to make sure.
Oh, thank goodness.
Did you realize that the other one wasn't Tahlia?
He looks around at the room, and you can see, like, his bow staff lying on the floor. You can see wrecked parts of the room, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm
Good.
pretty able to tell the difference between my Tahlia and an imposter. It kind of got the jump on me, though. And
Good.
I get the feeling Rook just thought me and Tahlia were, being a bit rough again."
Just wanted to be sure. And with that, Vierna kind of gets up, and I'll leave you to it, but she's not going to wake up for a little while, I don't think.
Yeah, it does not look that way. Fingers crossed the cheer does wake up soon, but we will see. Vienna, as you leave, you see him sort of getting out of bed and going to. You see the bright blue buttocks through the pants as he goes to quickly get a change of clothes.
Yeah.
As you make your way out. As you make your way out, Vienna,
Yeah.
you hear a voice in your head.
Uh-oh.
"Where is the orb, girl? We know you have it. Give it back."
About that. I don't have it anymore.
You take a couple of seconds of silence, and then another message comes through. "Like we believe, acolyte of winter."
If you don't
Bring
believe me, that's fair enough, but you can come find me and search for it if you want to. It's not here.
"Bring us the orb, or we will take measures." And that's it. That's all you get.
She just rolls her eyes and carries on.
Okay. The rest of you, is there anything anyone else wants to accomplish with what's left of this day?
I think Val is just gonna... Every item he touches is just gonna give a slight prod to make sure that it's actually the item that he thinks it's gonna be. Before, like...
This thing did not take the shape of an object.
I know, but he's already, like, not sleeping very well, or, like, being on edge because of the bone claw, and he's just, like, super paranoid about everything at the moment. So he's just, like, when he's picking up a cup, he's just making sure it's not, like, an ooze cup.
Because of that, Val, when you head into your room later on, could you make me a perception check, please?
Yes.
Lol.
Rook tells a mimic joke. Rook laughs. Val laughs. The table
Literally. I was just about to say I was going to have a long sleep and recharge, but now I need to see this play out.
So Val, as you step into your room,
Notice that you're
everything everything looks fine until you look at your closet.
Is this the music closet?
It is, which you always keep shut.
Okay.
The door is ever so slightly ajar.
Val is going to grab Mortimer and basically use Mortimer to open the door with the blade side of Mortimer facing in.
Okay. The door opens. There's nothing in there.
Okay. Does he notice anything different about this, or...?
Nope.
No.
Just looks like the door wasn't closed.
Okay.
The room looks exactly as it was, but you always leave the door closed.
And Val is basically gonna go over the room, just like almost very anally, looking for anything that seems out of the ordinary.
Roll Roll an investigation check with advantage.
Okay.
Because you are that paranoid at the moment, I know you will double check everything. Okay.
14.
With that 14, things look like they're right, but you can tell very slightly that things have been looked through.
Okay.
Things like when you open like drawers that have got like your regular clothes in, you can see that the folds aren't quite right anymore. Like things have been moved and rifled through. You can see that like your armor polishing set where you had left bits of it in certain like alignments with the box, they're just ever so slightly skewed. Like someone has picked it up and almost put it back perfectly, but just not quite.
Okay.
It was enough to pass a first sort of glance, but now that you're actually properly looking, you're seeing these little things. Someone has been in your room and looked through your stuff.
Val is going to, because he's still got a little bit of this material, take some of the material he used to make the Tritherian necklaces out of, the thread, or I can't remember what I had. I think it was some kind of strip of leather. And he's going to go up to the window and basically, I'm assuming has the window got slight knobs on them to open and shut?
No, the windows are, they're lift windows. They're like,
okay.
I can't remember the name for them off the top of my head. They're ones like where you literally lift it up and then pull it down again.
Okay. Never mind that. I'm just gonna note that the room has been moved around, and go down and join the rest of the party downstairs.
Okay. You all spend an evening together and then head to your beds.
Does Val mention this to everyone?
I think he probably would. He'd also... I'd probably mention it and just go, I think the Bone Claw might still be trying to fuck with me. Because everything's
all
been...
of my stuff got rummaged through as well. And I've got nothing to do with the Bone Claw, which actually reminds me that the whole purpose I went to Inala was to identify this bloody blood. Oh!
Have any of you guys had your room messed with? I just turn to the rest of the people.
I'm not sure, really. Shell seems to be the same as I've left it.
Just goes, haven't really been in my room recently.
Maybe worth a check.
She hops up and goes upstairs.
I'll check as well.
Okay. Make me perception check then, Blossom. And one for Ert as well, please.
Looks fine to me.
Yep, looks fine, Blossom. Pretty much how you left it.
24 for
steps in and immediately goes, like, immediately knows someone's been in her room.
Okay.
She immediately knows. Like, and she can just see that things aren't right. Things are not how she left them.
Is there any marks or anything she can see in her room in particular that would signify?
Wait, you rolled a persuasion check, not a perception.
Oh.
Oh. Okay.
Oh no, he's gonna roll in that one now, isn't he?
14.
There's nothing particular that she can see. Again, it's just the same sort of things like Val found, like clothes that were perfectly folded are just slightly ruffled. Things that were left out are been put back in just the tiniest different place. Only because she's actually physically looking for it and knows to look for it that she notices it. But she comes back down and goes, yeah, my room's been gone through too.
This place isn't as secure as I thought it was.
It might be worth having a word with Gunther, and seeing what we can do to increase the security. When he's like woken up and stuff and gotten through his...
When he's in a better mood, yeah. Okay, and with that we go.
Yep. You all head to bed, and all enjoy a long rest. Okay. The next day dawns bright. Nice day outside. It's just starting to come into the beginnings of summer. After the Frosted Feather Festival has passed and the days are starting to get that little bit longer. What would you all like to do? I'm assuming Xandal's getting back to work on M.
On and the containment unit, yeah.
Yep. So, how long are you going to spend today?
As long as he can, unless someone comes and fetches him for the next disaster.
I mean, I'm just wondering because you obviously Xandal wants to head to Riverrun. I just didn't know whether he was going to go and plan that or whether he's going to try and finish M first.
I think his main priority would actually be getting the containment unit up and running. But he wants to complete M as soon as he can as well. So
okay, so roll me 2 intelligence checks with proficiency added. Tell me which one's for which.
So first one for containment unit.
Okay.
Normal. So that's a 13.
13. Okay, so you make the beginnings of the structure for this. It's not particularly elegant. It's very roughshod, and you think you could do better, but your mind is elsewhere.
Yeah, and then this one's obviously for M. Yeah.
23.
Better one, yes.
Yeah. With that and the amount of time you spend, I would say you now have M just a little over halfway done.
Awesome.
By this point, you've got most of the torso done, the arms. It's now most of what's left. You've got like the frame done. What's left now is the fiddly bits, is the complicated bits, the wiring, the power sources, that sort of thing.
Yeah. I think I still need 2 gems to complete it anyway, so I've got 3 of them.
Yes, you do still need 2 more.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything anyone else would like to do today?
Val is going to basically get up really early. He's not going to go downstairs. He's going to sit in solitude with basically in his room, not even turn the lights on, and sit in meditative prayer. Because he realizes that he has kind of lost himself a little bit recently with both paranoia and panicking, and he's just looking for... He's basically going to say things out loud and look for some kind of strength, and hoping by saying this out loud in prayer, he's going to find the strength to like get himself back to where he should be. And he's going to spend the entire day, like, from the moment he wakes up at probably 4 o'clock in the morning through to the next day, he's going to stay in his room, no lights on, in prayer.
Okay, roll me a straight wisdom check, please.
Okay.
That was for Urt.
Oh, wrong screen. Sorry, I've got too many character sheets up.
I know. I know the feeling, trust me. Even better for Valdo. As you are spending this time in prayer, as you are sat there, after a couple of hours, you've sort of lost track of time and lost track of your surroundings. And the wind blowing through the trees just sounds so good. The sun on your scales feels nice. Wait a second. It's up to you now what you do. I've given you that info.
He's gonna, whilst it does feel good, he's gonna hone in on kind of his own breathing rather than what is happening where he is. He's going to focus on his own breathing and his own thoughts, and try and just keep his mind clear from what's happening around him, so that he can kind of go into that Zen mode.
Okay. So as you are sat and just focusing completely on what you can hear and feel and think, you just hear a voice from quite close by go, "Huh. At least you have some discipline."
I'm trying.
Open your eyes, boy.
And Val takes a second because he thinks this is his own mind playing tricks on him. Does he tell what the voice is, or is it similar to a voice he's heard before?
It is not a voice you've heard before.
Okay. He does take a second, and he does open his eyes.
You do recognize where you are.
Okay.
You've been here maybe twice before. The beautiful forest stretching away in all directions. The road you are currently sat in the middle of, which leads off and forks in multiple different directions. And sat in a tree above you on a branch, a hawk larger than any you have ever seen, a falcon in fact, sat larger than any you have ever seen, sat staring at you with its bright yellow eyes.
I will make a move to walk towards the hawk.
The falcon goes,
Oh,
I
falcon.
am Harris, one of Triferian's hunting partners.
It's nice to meet you.
Your discipline is good, but it appears you are having problems tracking your foe.
Any other foe... How do I phrase this? I think Val would probably take a second to get his thoughts together and just go, I will be honest, I think part of the reason I'm struggling to track my foe is fear. And it's a fear I've not felt in many years, and I don't know why. In the past I've overcome it, but at the moment I just cannot seem to shake it.
Fear is not a weakness. It is not something to try and get rid of. It is a necessary emotion. Do not try to rid yourself of the fear. Embrace it for what it is, a warning. Take it and use it. Only then will you truly find what you need. Allow me to give you one piece of advice, young paladin.
Anything, definitely.
Freedom is always key. But sometimes the right choices taint that freedom. We will see if you have the strength to make the right choices, no matter the outcome. And with that, the falcon takes flight, and the wind blows through the trees, and you find yourself back in the darkness of your room, alone.
And although Val has just had that experience, he kind of readjusts himself, and he just goes back to prayer.
Okay. All right.
That's me done.
Okay. Blossom, Vienna, anything you guys are doing today?
There's a little temptation to go back to Inala to actually approach her with what Vierna was actually going there in the first place to do, but then she also realised that she hasn't really got a working office at the moment. She's probably more concentrating on Talia's gloop. So she's not going to bother with that. But she is planning on... she's actually thinking of setting up traps in her room.
Okay.
So...
on the back of that, Fish might go in her shell and set traps around her shell. Just in case. Because
Okay.
things are getting a little bit twisted around here.
All right. So what sort of traps are you wanting to set up, Vierna?
So she remembers that the window was a key part of the way they got in before. So she's going to set a trap up around the window, but make it look as if... So she's going to make sure everything else is quite difficult to get into, except the window, but actually lay a sort of like... Oh, what sort of trap should
Better
she
say,
do?
what sort of trap are you going for here? Are you going for capture or damage?
I want to leave a mark. So
more information gathering than anything.
yeah.
So are you going to do the typical sort of dusting of flour underneath the windowsill sort of thing?
Dusting a flower, but maybe like have something kind of explode that leaves a mark.
Right.
So
Okay.
you can identify, you can look someone in the face and go, yeah, you were in that room.
Right. So what you're more sort of doing is something like wedging, almost like the eraser. You're wedging something above the window that will drop and
Yeah.
leave like a paint mark on someone.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a survival check to see how well you set this up.
This is where it lands on me.
15. You manage to... You find like a spare piece of like wood from downstairs, and you manage to jig up a tankard filled with a little bit of paint, that when the window is opened, the wood will be knocked out and the tankard will fall on someone.
I'm getting just as paranoid as Val.
As
Mine.
you are doing that, Vienna, at the window, make me a perception check.
I was going to say, Vierna's paranoid naturally anyway, so it's more in character. My
Nice.
perceptions are good.
Yeah. Looking out the window, you catch two things. Across the street in an alleyway, you catch a small child glancing up at your window and then ducking back into the alleyway, afraid of being seen. Sort of the same small children you've seen following you quite a lot recently, sort of raggedy clothes, carrying a piece of paper and a pencil.
Okay.
Thing you notice is on the rooftop across from where your window is, in a shadow of like a chimney stack, a pair of glowing eyes just staring at you.
Can I focus in on the eyes?
As you focus in a bit, you can see the shape, and it is that heavily cloaked figure that you remember seeing a couple of days ago.
Is where I'm really tempted to actually just go all out and hit him. I'm not going to. Okay, Vienna's slightly annoyed that she's been seen setting up this trap, because it feels like a waste of time now.
You don't know. You don't think they've seen you setting up the trap. They've just seen that you're like the way with that 23. The way both of these things are looking at your window, it's not that they can see you. They just know that that is the right room to be looking at.
Right.
So they're more watching the room and the building than they are watching you currently.
Okay, she'll leave the trap there, but she's kind of... The kids she's not too worried about, but those eyes that she keeps seeing, that's bothering her, so she's going to keep an eye on that.
Okay. All right.
Hagger's having a staring contest with the ooze, and I'm having a staring contest with shadows.
All right. Anything anyone else wants to accomplish on this day? I'm taking that as a no.
I think the only other thing is to potentially somebody should go in and check it on Gunther and Tahlia to make sure that they've both actually woken up.
Okay.
I've just said what I was doing, but
yeah. Probably does that, and Tahlia is still asleep,
okay.
or whatever she is, whatever her clone fed her, is keeping her under, and you can only guess that it is something Inala concocted, probably from the data that she's gathered from experiments on Tahlia. Because you're kind of curious as to what could keep Tahlia out this long, considering her unique physiology. So, if you want Tahlia to wake up, you may need to go see Inala. And will probably come and tell that to people she sees, just sort of like she's not sure what's going on with Tahlia. Gunter's up and moving, and he's running the jester, but spending as much time with Tahlia as he can, just trying to sort of like not necessarily trying to get her to wake up, but just being there just in case.
Anyone
Am I
else?
still here? I was about to say, am I still here?
Sorry.
Just double checking.
I mean, I've said what Val's doing, so I can't really retcon that. So, does anybody want to go and see Inala, or are we just leaving Tahlia to sleep?
We'll just leave Tahlia to sleep. It's like, we know she's alive, conscious, we hope.
Okay. So another day passes, and another day dawns. Again, Tahlia is still completely out of it. Has not yet woken or even moved a muscle. Gunter is starting to get a little upset and a little concerned, but he's not acting on it just yet. Other than that, was there anything anyone wanted? I'm assuming Xander wants to continue working on M.
No, of course.
Of course. Go ahead and roll me the rolls for that and the containment unit.
I'm going to use a reaction on each for Flash of Genius to add +3 to each roll. So the first one's for containment unit.
Okay.
So that would be a 29.
29, okay. You sort of look at the structure you had made previously and just sort of go, no, and you rip it all apart, and instead you make like this. It's a cube with then a sphere inside it, and you spend ages blowing glass, and you manage to make this completely airtight sphere with like locks on it that are airtight, and it's not finished, but it's very good. You're much more happy with it. And you basically what you're going to be doing here is creating the internal sphere and then a box around it, and you're basically going to be creating a vacuum between them.
That's exactly. I was just about to actually say that. I wanted to create like a vacuum failsafe so that if it broke through the first layer, it virtually implodes on itself.
Yeah. But you have started designing that. So for your second roll for M.
Okay. That is a 28.
About to say, almost as good. With that, I will say you've just had this brilliant day. Your brain just seems to be on it. You have finished like the actual model and body of M, and you have done most of the wiring. It's now just fitting power unit and bits and pieces, like her weaponry or whatever you want to
Yeah.
put in there. That's the last
Awesome.
bit to do now.
Cool. Yay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else got anything they want to do today?
Taking my. I was
oh,
going to
there you
say,
go.
taking my traps. Traps not been triggered.
The trap has not been triggered, no.
Back.
When Val gets up, because obviously he's been locked away for 24 hours, I'd imagine that's when Ert's going to mention about Tahlia still being asleep. So Val's going to make plans to basically skip breakfast and go straight to Inala.
Okay.
If he sees if anybody else is up around that time, he's going to ask if they want to come with. But I'm not sure who's actually up.
Especially
Vierna's
considering what
probably
happened
going.
last time.
Yeah, Vierna's probably going to be slightly on edge that night because she's waiting for that trap to go off. So she'll probably be up and about quite early.
Yep.
Okay. What about you, Blossom?
Yeah, I'll go too.
Yeah.
I'd imagine Ert's probably going to come as well. So most of us are going to go.
Come as well.
Yeah.
You guys, is Fish up and about, or is Fish having a lie-in?
Fish is
Fish-
currently on the
From
phone.
from her, is still in her shell, obviously. But she awakes from her shell to notice that there was some sort of activity in the flower that she left around her shell.
Okay.
So I'll roll. I'm gonna have to roll my dice.
Yep, that's fine.
Technology is amazing. Okay, so I've rolled 16.
Yep. So, looking around your room, you don't keep anything in your room. You've been given one of the guest rooms. You've not really personalized it yet. As you say, you spend most of your time in your shell for resting and relaxing. But you can see that, like, again, things have been opened and closed and looked through. Something's been in the room looking through the room. But they did not interact with your shell in any way.
So, in which case, Fish is totally freaked out and hides behind Zandal.
Zandal is not at the jigging jester.
Oh, I'm not meant to Zandal. I'm reading the Vierna. Oh, sorry, Vierna. The one above
Okay.
that one. I read the wrong one. Vierna. Sorry, I get the wrong names.
Alright.
I've had long names.
So yeah. So Fish obviously
hide.
probably ports this to everyone and says that now her room has also been gone through.
So that's everybody's near enough.
Yeah.
Right. Either way, we need to get Tahlia awake. So to Inala, I guess.
Yeah. Let's go to Inala.
Okay. So you guys head off to the Alchemist Guild. Getting there, you see, you pass through the usual front entrance. The clerk now just sort of waving you in. Apparently quite happy to have other people who are going to be some kind of control on Inala's craziness. That they don't have to do it anymore. You head up the stairs, and again, the doorway is completely open. There is still no door there. It has not yet been replaced, but you go in and you see Inala is already in there resetting up equipment and that sort of thing. And she goes, hello. Sandal's not here, so the containment unit's not finished. What can I do for you?
We need to know what was in that potion that was given to Tahlia.
Ah,
She's not woken up.
yes. You see, obviously, she has a rather unique physiology. So I made a couple of test potions to see how they would potentially interact. I never got to test them on her, obviously. I may have tested a few on the ooze clone.
Val just goes, what kind of test potion? You can tell he's like impatient this morning because it's Tahlia and he cares for her.
Effectively an anesthetic that would affect someone who would not normally be affected by something such as that. If you give me a second, and she quickly scuttles over to sort of a couple of drawers on the wall and starts rummaging and gets a couple of ingredients out and quickly starts crushing things and making something, and eventually she about 20 minutes later she comes over with a vial of a almost bright blue potion and goes, here, that should counteract it. Obviously, she won't wake up straight away, but it will begin the process. Otherwise, she would probably still be asleep. I believe when I tried it under clone, it lasted for a week. It's generally what I kept dosing it with to keep it, under control. Apparently, it built up a resistance. Something to bear in mind for the future.
You never thought of making this beforehand?
I didn't need to wake the clone up. I wanted to keep the clone asleep.
I meant for Tahlia. You've been.
I wasn't ever intending. If I was going to use it on Tahlia, I knew Tahlia would never allow me to administer such a potion as an experiment.
But you knew she was unconscious.
And you knew she could have had something like this in her system.
Yeah, I've had a lot on my mind. I mean, I've just had, my whole lab destroyed, my greatest experiment taken from me.
Alright, if you want a bit of a distraction. Vierna pulls out the dagger that's still got the blood on it. It's like, can you tell me if there's anything unusual about this blood? Because it seems to glow.
Oh, highly phosphorescent. Interesting. She quickly gets some swabs and stuff and starts looking it over, and she goes, interesting. Not from our plane, I don't think. Not ever seen anything like this. The cells appear to be retaining, to put it simply, sunlight. The glow is coming from captured sunlight. Very odd. Normally only seen in plants, but apparently this, whatever creature this came from, has a similar issue.
Interesting.
I hope that's helpful. Unfortunately, I have never seen blood like this, so I can't give you an exact species, but that's what I can tell.
Alright, well thank you for that at least.
Not a problem. And like I say, hopefully that antidote should work. Like I say, just not immediately. And again, I suppose apologies for all of that.
I think when Tahlia wakes up, a more sincere apology is going to be required for her.
I think at that point I shall have a new door.
Do you think that would stop her?
I think it would slow her down, which would give me time to get away.
Well,
That's all I care about.
Inala, you're a genius and you make some great stuff, but sometimes you need to consider the consequences of your actions and whether, for the sake of science, the damage that you could cause, the repercussions, is it worth it sometimes? That's all I'm going to say. And Val goes to walk out.
Make me a persuasion check, Val.
Okay.
$19.
As you turn to leave, you can see you've definitely struck a chord. She's obviously thinking about your words. What will come of it, you're not sure, but you've definitely struck a chord.
And as I say, Val just walks straight out after saying that.
Okay.
I'm guessing everybody follows.
Yeah, Vierna's kind of lost in her thoughts, going, what the hell entered my room?
Okay. As you are leaving the Alchemist Guild, by the way, Val, you see a familiar young boy currently making his way towards the Alchemist Guild.
Which young boy is it?
Grifter.
Okay. Morning, Grifter.
Oh, Mr. Valdision. Hello. I'm just coming to collect Father Nicholas's medication.
All right. How is everything going down there?
It's good. It's good. The food parcels keep coming, which is really good, and means that we can keep eating. There's a few people who are, there's still people around there who are being a bit mean. But Father Nicholas is trying to teach us to, stand up for ourselves. He says it's something to do with some god, I think. I'll admit I'm not particularly good at listening sometimes.
Well, sometimes it's not about the entirety of the message. Sometimes it's about the feeling that goes behind it. As long as you're doing your best to be a good person and do the best you can be, sometimes it doesn't matter what god you follow or, what beliefs you have. Sometimes that's all that matters.
But what about when someone's being, mean to other people? Father Nicholas says that obviously we should stand up for ourselves, but that we shouldn't try and, I think he said we shouldn't go looking for trouble, but I just want to, sometimes I just wish that I could deal with them beforehand.
If you dealt with them beforehand, they wouldn't have done any wrong in front of you. You can only fix what you see, so you have to wait for them to do something to try and fix it, unfortunately. Otherwise, you become the bad guy.
Okay, but if I see someone doing something bad, I should stop them, yeah?
Within limits. Do what you can, don't put yourself at risk. And, if you need to run, if you need to get help, if you know that you can't deal with it yourself, there's no shame in that.
Okay, right. Thank you, Mr. Valdision. I'll do that.
Val
Yes.
does his regular thing and ruffles his hair.
Thank you. And he quickly runs into the alchemist, going to get the prescription.
Cool. And I guess we're gonna. Well, I'm heading back to the jigging jester. I don't know what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, probably
I
the same
did
thing.
want to talk to Wilma.
Okay.
Catch her up on what happened, and ask if she has anything or could make anything that can track people.
Okay. So you go to Wilma's, and the shop's a bit quieter today, and she sees you coming and goes, "Oh, hello again." And as you fill her in, she goes, "Well, that sounds like it was a bit of a thing.
Quite interesting, yes.
Something to trap people. I mean, there's something I could whip up now if you want. It's not exactly subtle, and it wouldn't last very long. Maybe only sort of about a minute, but would that be any good?"
It could be useful.
Alright. And she goes out the back and she comes back with some wooden tablets, and you can see that there's like multiple different like etchings on them. And she goes, so obviously this is like a, sort of like base enchantment. Normally I use these do you know you weren't here when I gave them the spell spheres. The little like glass baubles that they could store spells into. This was sort of a previous experiment before that. Basically what I've done here is I've written out most of the formula for an enchantment, and then by doing a couple of little extra bits I can put a spell onto this wood. Obviously you put it somewhere, and then if something steps on it, or obviously you can throw it at things depending on what you put on it, and it's like a one-shot spell, but obviously it burns itself out pretty quick, and you watch as she quickly gets like an etching pen and just finishes it off and goes, that one has got a hold person on it now. Again, not guaranteed to work because it's just a throwaway little piece of wood, but if someone steps on it and isn't quite prepared, it'll hold them in place for a bit.
Sorry, I said tracking.
Oh, tracking. I thought you said trapping.
Yeah, sorry. Although that's pretty good as well.
Well, feel free to take that one as a free thing. Tracking. I mean, do you have anything of the person you're wanting to track, or is it just?
No, it's we've been being followed recently.
Right.
It'd be useful to help keep an eye on them.
Okay. Most I could maybe do is have a look at maybe making something similar to Ert's Sentry Serpent that you can set to tail someone, but that's not going to be cheap and it's going to take. I can't think of anything else that I can do quickly other than obviously you could maybe have a look at seeing if someone could let any of your party knows the scrying spell. If you've seen them at least once, you could at least scry on them, but that's all I can really recommend. Anything else, it's going to take me a while to put together.
I think we've got time. Is there any way for me to describe my brand of castigation?
Yeah, that's so. As you
Because
describe this,
I think I need to hit with an attack, and it has to have the Crimson Rite on it as well. But which is obviously going to be quite a noticeable thing. Can't just walk up to a child, stab them with a flaming sword, and just go, "Yeah, I know where you are now."
yeah. As you describe, obviously this is an area of magic that Wilma has no experience of. Blood magic is specifically for the Claret Order.
Yeah.
It's a very heavily protected secret and knowledge. You know that if any of your order ever found out you had shared this information, you would probably get in quite a bit of trouble.
Yeah, I'll try to be as vague as I can, but still try
Yeah.
to get it across.
But she sort of gets the idea and sort of goes, all right. I might be able to do something with that. What we might be able to do is your brand. Does it have to be a melee weapon that deals the damage?
No.
What if I made you some little spiked darts, where you can prick your thumb on it and then shoot them with it? That way, they get the damage with the blood for the Crimson Rite on the dart, and you can apply the brand that way. And for them, it just feels like they've maybe just been bitten by a bug.
Yeah, that could work.
All right. Give me a bit to see what. Come back tomorrow. I'll see if I can get some darts made up for you.
Yes, thank you.
Not a problem. And she bustles off out the back, obviously, to go start trying to, make molds for this particular new thing that she's thought up. Okay.
For the record, Vierna would definitely stab a child.
I imagine the problem with the brand of castigation is the damage that it does.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but a dart only does, I think it's 1d2 damage. So,
Sure.
so yeah, it won't do a lot of damage.
Well,
It'll
I
do
think I can minimise the physical damage. It's the Crimson Rite damage that's the main thing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
Oh,
how
who is
limiting that could be.
Fish is still in a shell in the back of Vienna's pocket.
Does Vierna know this?
I jumped in. I don't know if my mic went. I'm having so many bad problems with connection and Wi-Fi tonight. But I definitely said that I'd got in my shell and jumped into your pocket.
Okay.
You might have
So-
missed it.
Okay.
Definitely. Just to recap. I was just realizing that people might not have heard that.
That's all right.
But yeah,
You
so
know,
Wilma.
I'm in your pocket.
Will-
I'm asleep. It's all good. I'm not wriggling. You can't feel me. It's all good.
Okay.
But yeah, so Wilma is going to try and sort that out for you, and obviously I will say probably with a dart, the Crimson Rite damage would probably also be, I would say probably halved. It wouldn't
Right.
be as much, but we'll see. We'll see what Wilma can come up with. I'll do some rolls before next session.
Sure.
But yes, the rest of you return to the jester. Feed Tahlia this potion, which in itself is a bit of a trial. You see, because she doesn't move, she doesn't breathe, so actually getting her to swallow is rather interesting. It takes a bit of time, but the potion is ingested, and though she doesn't wake, you can see like some muscles are actually twitching now. Like she is starting to get function back. So
That's good.
it is likely that she will be awake tomorrow.
Happy days.
Good.
And on that point, I think I'm going to end today's session here. Thank you all for joining us. We've had quite an interesting session with oozes and the fallout from, and yet more build up on other areas. But we will continue all of that next time, and we'll see where we end up then. Everyone, please continue to stay safe, continue to enjoy, and we will see you next time. Our next session will be the 15th. Bye for now, guys.
See you in 2 weeks. Bye guys.
Bye.